all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a camp that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation of all of us is to compete for a victory.
I'm just gonna send it to the very top. Never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it. Try to go what's next. Guess I already can. You can't stop. No, I know. I just wanna be the best.
By being a racing driver, you are racing all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a camp that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation of all of us is to compete for a victory.
I'm just gonna send it to the very top. Never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it. Try to go what's next. Guess I already can. You can't stop. No, I know. I just wanna be the best.
longer go for a camp that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for victory.
I'm just gonna say to the very top, never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna say straight to the winner's nest. Decide where we go. You can't stop, no, I just wanna work with the best.
By being a racing driver, you are racing all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a camp that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for victory.
I'm just gonna say to the very top, never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna say straight to the winner's nest. Decide where we go. You can't stop, no, I just wanna
driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a test that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory.
I'm just gonna send it to the very top. Never gonna hold it. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it straight to the who's next. Decide I'm ready. You can't stop, no. I just wanna work with the best.
By being a racing driver, you are racing all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a test that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for a victory.
I'm just gonna send it to the very top. Never gonna hold it. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it straight to the who's next. Decide I'm ready. You can't stop, no. I just wanna work with
longer go for a camp that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for victory.
I'm just gonna send it to the very top. Never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it. Trying to go on this next one. Guess I already can. You can't stop, no, no. I just wanna be the best.
By being a racing driver, you are racing all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a camp that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for victory.
I'm just gonna send it to the very top. Never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it. Trying to go on this next one. Guess I already can. You can't stop, no, no. I just wanna be gonna show you. So far up in the sky, never gonna take it down. Send it crashing to the ground. I'm just gonna send it. So hard we're gonna fly. We will need to land it. We're all like we'll never die. I'm just gonna show you. Send it forward on my wrist. You just gotta think. I'm a concentration. I'm a boss. I'm gonna love it. You ain't got no choices left. I'm just gonna show you.
You should know that by being a racing driver, you are at risk all the time. By being a racing driver means you are racing with other people. And if you no longer go for a team that exists, it's no longer racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. And the main motivation to all of us is to compete for victory.
I'm just gonna send it. Send it to the top. Never gonna go. You and me will never stop. I'm just gonna send it. Trying to go on this next one. Decide on where to go. And you can't stop, no, no. But it's more worth it.
Uh, I would answer that. I think we've had some issues with the stream as well, though. Rodrigo saying you can't hear anything. So this has gone off to a good start. Just to clarify, this is pretty much my first time streaming, so it will be a bit not the best. Luckily, no, yeah, they can only hear me due to my headset being weird. Let me just sort this. It's gone. I guess so, David, you're gonna have to, yeah, you're gonna have to sort out your, you do your. It was a lovely intro, but you're gonna have to do it all again, mate.
Hello, everybody. You fucking.
There we
prick.
go.
How are you?
I can hear that. You should be. You should
Nice.
be working
Right,
now.
serious time, guys. Serious time. They can hear you now.
That
David.
is set the perfect
Perfect.
tone for this stream, because that's what
Amazing.
it's
10 of you here. Come on. Let's say have a good evening. Back here at Kota.
Uh,
Oh, I've just seen someone
we've got
been into the
Brazilian
wall as
crasher.
well on the stream.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
nice.
Right.
So, obviously, young drivers test. This is today. Obviously, we've had a. This is really. I call this a celebration of the year almost. You know, it's a very casual atmosphere, and say a few of you in the chat as well. Obviously, we'll be hoping to bring some of you guys in to the MDR Discord as well, and maybe get your thoughts of the season as well. But we're doing that within the next sort of half an hour, so 8 p.m. UK time. We'll be bringing some of you in during the session, for those you want to have a chat and interview you here as well. But fair warning to you all: don't expect it to be a fully clean broadcast. So we say it's a bit more casual, a bit more having a dig and having banter and
This is
I
very
would
much
like
going
to
to be.
just, I would just like to point out as well, depending on how the stream goes, once we start letting people into the voice chat, we could be doing impromptu interviews for next year's Superleague Light seat alongside me. So, because Hago may or may not be in the car next year. So, actually, it's best not letting me in the voice chat for now.
Immediately gonna get in for an interview there.
Why don't we just get Hago to interview him for us? That should be fun.
Well, we got to give him a job, haven't you?
Exactly.
You got to do something.
Yeah.
He can have a seat right next to us in the commentary booth.
I'll tell you what, just looking at the standings at the moment, Malta's taken over the world. But looks things they're currently the top three. Vela from Muscat from Gretsch.
But then there's MDR Academy P4, so let's not overlook that.
Well, he hasn't binned it yet. I don't think so.
He's not even on track, so it's safer there.
He's safer there as well.
Jack, are you in the server now?
I'm in the server, mate.
I'll go on board with you, but you're in the pits, being bored.
I'm in the
Let's see that.
pits.
I'll descend it on the Halo. It's a bit broken.
That's fine. It
Oh, wait,
resembles the rest of my
if I go on
car in
board
about
with you,
5
it's
laps.
MDR's
fine,
always
but
broken.
This isn't an MDR, it's an
not
edge.
An MDR, and we
Oh, it's
managed
an
to
edge.
break it already.
Oh.
Yeah, Danny's going out on track. Let's watch a ball with Danny Robbins. See what MDR can do.
And Mad Cape.
MDR Mad Cape, same thing.
See what MDR can do just as MDR Team Boss heads out onto the track.
To be honest, this is probably the highest position a Mad Cape has been all season, hasn't it? P4.
I think they
Didn't it take
they're
off at the
running
start
higher
of
up.
Monza?
They were running higher up in one of the races. Can't remember which one now,
I
but
think it might
they
have been
did.
Kota, wasn't it? They had can't remember who it was. But
Nah, it weren't Kota.
Yeah.
It was earlier on in the year, I think. One of them, I think it was under the hands of Quickle, running higher up. But I think the usual thing of when they're higher up in the field, they brakes fail and they retire. So that's the usual. So just as a confirmation for the chat, can everyone hear myself and Jack? By the way,
It was a bit of a waste of time if they couldn't.
Go on, Rodrigo. Just let us know if you're near us, and we'll be all good to go. 28 people on track, including Jack at the moment.
At the moment.
At the moment there as well. Of course, he's in the Edge Esports car as well. Just flying past the Green Stripes car there as well. So welcome Martin Rybachuk to the track and to the server. 29 of them now in on the server. We expect up to 45 cars, but let's say we're probably expecting around 35 to 40 people as well. Of course, after the test as well, we expect a few little fun races like 3-lap races and stuff like that. Bit of crashing, bit of entertainment towards the end. That's just the norm.
First part of advertising. Oh, you got the crashing.
Wow, you go.
It's an MDR stream. We'll be on board with Jack, so we'll cover that well.
Put Danny. Hang on, we've got a comment in from Rodrigo Carvalho, of course. Hello, Rodrigo. Good lad, obviously a good MDR representative over time. He's probably been paid to be here by the guys here.
Yeah.
Put Danny to this till we hear him rage with the car.
Is that an invite to have Danny in the voice chat? Oh shit!
Oh, Jack Spins on broadcast.
Why get
now.
Danny when you can have me?
Yeah. Oh, we get a reversal.
Nah, mate, I'm a good driver. I don't kill people. Who was that? Let me know where
Bastian.
Hago is on track. Okay.
No, it wasn't Sandy. It was your
That was
other
Bastian.
teammate.
Yeah, Pizer.
Yeah, whenever I get close to Hago, just let me know and I'll do the
Wow.
content.
Yeah.
As well. So, as I said, Josh, we were saying earlier before we found out I wasn't being heard. Probably a good thing. You said about your first voyage into Super League Lights this year. Obviously, you found out at the start of the year in last December. Obviously, in Milton Keynes for a GPVWC day at the time. What was your initial thoughts actually on your reaction?
Well, to be honest, at first we were a bit worried that we weren't even in GPV anymore. when we saw the presentation going through, obviously it went from the FC up to Super League, and we were expecting to be in Formula Challenge. Pretty much.
I remember it well. Like, we
Yeah.
see the Formula Challenge grid, no MDR. We see Super Cup, no MDR. Me and Josh are halfway around out the door, and then they said, "Oh, we've also got a new series called Super League Lights." I was like, "Oh, that's not us." And we see MDR like at the top,
Yeah, we went from
As usual.
P10 and FC to the second tier of GPV. It was definitely a surprise and pretty much changed all of our plans for this year.
We got a better result in Super League Lights. So what does that say?
That is true. Yeah.
I admit, I was sat behind you guys in GPV Day in that room, and I did see a lot of brown come out when that was announced.
Oh, Chris Williamson just crashed. Oh no.
Is that DC? Is
Michael Bell
Oh,
just crashed
dear
into
me,
him
look
as
at it
well.
all crashing.
Oh, that's gone well.
Williamson spun into the Red Archer car,
Yeah.
and then Mikey Bell just like, oh yeah, I'll join in.
Yeah.
And the other one as well, and they're all in the pits. Obviously, Chris Williamson, he's obviously the god of the league, as I say very often here. Anyone's got a problem, obviously go to Chris. And I always say to him, why are you so slow, Chris, in these races? He says, well, because I'm carrying everyone else with me, because you've got to help everyone else out. So the car's a bit heavier than normal. But, obviously great to see Chris Williamson in the car, having a bit of fun, rather than sorting out all the league out, as well as Rob Mason, who's currently P20s in the Epic racing car. Of course, Epic's last run out in GPVWC as well. This will be their last appearance in the league. Obviously, they're moving on to new ventures, new adventures actually as well. Elsewhere in sim racing. Obviously, they've been in the league for 10 years. So for Lee Davison as well, done a fantastic job bringing that team up the ladder over the years, and obviously took their first and only win in Super League at the start of last season with Jeffrey Fournier behind the wheel in Australia as well. So,
Does anyone know the Fournier song? Josh?
I
Get
don't-
Rodrigo to put the
yeah, I
lyrics
was
in the
gonna
chat
say,
and go for
I
it.
don't know what the tune is actually meant to be on it, but I know it's.
I don't know. I just know the words.
He's French. He likes to overtake. Fournier.
Fournier.
That's
Something
probably
like
that one. Yeah. I don't know. Unless
Not
it's some
quite send it.
Brazilian thing that we don't know about, but.
Fournier.
There we go. Rodrigo's now
He
typing it
likes
out
to
in the
be
chat.
French,
It's
and
good.
he likes to
Nice.
overtake Fournier. Fournier.
There you go,
Well,
that's probably it.
I'll just record that and that'll be the intro to the next stream we do. I just got a setup by Mike Bell.
Oh dear.
It's gonna,
So did
is that
everyone
gonna
else. Things.
be- okay. Is that going to be better or worse than the one you've already got?
Well, the one I've currently got is what I had at MDR. So what a dead
it
team
could
that
be
is.
anything then, yeah.
But yeah, Mikey Bell is obviously in the car as well today. He's had a struggle this year in Super League Lights. Was it 8 points he got? With
I believe it was 6
He-
actually.
6.
But-
People just
Not-
turn up
not
and
to-
practice every round to get more points. So
Yeah, not to
waste
make
of
it worse,
time,
but
Mike.
I think it was.
Yeah, pretty. Compared to his teammate, anyway, it's like
They were close.
you see, like the
Very evenly matched, yeah.
like you see the donkey carrying the bricks, and then you got the person just leading behind the donkey in these adverts. That then when they ask for donations every month, he's the guy walking behind the donkey, basically. Is
Yeah,
Mikey Bell.
Lucas is going to need to go for a spa day after this season. His back must be really hurting carrying that
Yeah,
team.
I know.
It was 6 points, in fact, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
just had it.
Thanks, George. Just to rub it in even more.
Not to make it worse, Mike, but Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. He knows what to do
Mike's
next
a nice
year.
guy though. Well,
Yeah,
some people might disagree, but no, he's a nice guy. That makes up for it.
Marmite.
Yeah,
Marmite's a good one. You know.
very much Marmite.
Definitely Marmite. You know.
You either hate him or you pretend to not hate him. Basically, that's
No, I don't like Marmite. To be fair.
inconspicuous
Neither do
way
I,
to say it, but okay.
Yeah.
We get the hidden message here, David.
No, I've known Mikey for a long time. We going back about 9 years now. Bloody hell, I don't know if I'll put up with him for that time, but you know, we've had a good laugh in those 9 years anyway. You know, and good to see him in obviously the championship winning car of 2019 Evolution Motorsports car as well. Dominant, really, you could say if you look at the championship standings, but it was almost like it was in a league of their own, basically, all like Mercedes of like 2014 sort of dominance, wasn't it? From
As a team, they really were. Obviously, Dennis and Yannick were just very good this year. Obviously,
That's
had
the thing.
Alex in the well, started out as an ACR, but slowly turned into a Vodball. And he was very good, but obviously as a team, Evolution were much better.
It is, as Dennis pointed out, though, after the final race, that whilst it seems dominant and they won by such a big margin, if you actually look at the races, they only had, 3 wins each and 6 wins as a team all season. So 6 wins out of 16 rounds. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. Maybe I'm bullshitting there, but
I'm not entirely
Josh, if
sure.
you could,
I haven't checked.
I was going to say, you're the stat guy. You was quick to check Mike Bell's point, so if you could just check the actual
I was as
Evolution
quick
win.
as the GPV website would allow me to be. But,
yeah.
and now I'm going to need to exit out again and go to the Superleague one. So
Yeah, like they were dominant over the season, but
it's just
race to
as a
race,
team, they were very
they
consistent.
weren't
weren't
always
they?
winning,
No,
but they were always up there. It was the consistency that got them the win.
yeah,
You know?
racked at the points, didn't they?
Yeah.
As well. Tonight as well, it is another battle as well, which some of you guys might know about, some of you might not, but it's a battle of who's got the best academy. And at the moment, MDR would be winning that with Danny Robbins in P4 as well. You know,
Well, the fact that
Sure.
we've got literally the only other academy that we know of, the owner is an MDR at the moment, so I think that's an outright win.
come on, Boy House, you got the tools. You just get on that field a bit more. He's down in
I thought the whole
P17.
Crossfire Academy was full of tools.
Oh.
And that was the broadcast, so I hope you enjoyed it, guys. We'll be back this time next year. After the lawsuit.
After the lawsuit, yeah. That's what I say. Well, we know in our team as well, it'll probably take about a year before we get to you. So, before after the initial email. So, you know, yeah. If I can have my gloves anytime, that'd be great.
Right, Jack's still waiting for his mug, so it's fine.
Well, I've been running the team with you half the time, so I don't need another one.
Oh,
Also, so you might be wondering why I'm not using DRS.
I didn't really
That-
care, to be honest.
Okay, well, the observant ones of you who have been looking at my rear wing,
Exactly the excuse that you're 3.6 seconds off the pace.
yeah, and the fact that my DRS button is actually applied to 100% brake button. So,
Yeah.
if you want to go on board with me now, I can demonstrate my amazing DRS.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm
let's-
watching now. Let's
we've
have
got a
a look.
1 second car. Oh,
Okay,
shit.
nice. No, that's good.
What it does, it creates a flat spot, which means less rubber, which is less weight and also less drag. So, I agree with that one.
Doesn't do well for the strategy, though, does it, Jack?
No, it doesn't.
Let's be honest now.
Nope. But I'll still get better tyre wear than I did at MDR, so it's fine.
Well, at least in Brazil, that was not the best.
We
was
don't
it?
talk about that.
And also, yeah, looking at finally the standings have loaded. Yeah, so Yannick and Dennis both got 3 wins each, but the vast majority
shit.
of their races were P2s actually and P3s. They were all on the podium for a lot of the races, and just as a team, that obviously works out much better. So.
Just out of curiosity, Jack, how many wins have MDR got?
Well, we're on broadcast doing what is basically the only GPVWC broadcast at the moment, so I call that an absolute win.
I'll take
Still
that.
you still need another 5 to match.
Just
the,
another 5
Evolution
broadcasts
boys.
before the end of the year, so yeah. we've got it.
Yeah.
Rodrigo
just
says,
for
Jack,
the-
make the Neptune Academy proud.
Right then.
Neptune B team as we are.
I'll be seeing him
Only
after
at
the stream.
WCS though. I mean GPV. At least you have a
Tune
presence
into their
in the career ladder.
Discord or check their website wcs.com as well to join their fantastic league. Obviously, got the Porsche League at the moment and some great stuff coming out in the future as well. You know.
We invite you here to plug our merch,
Absolute sellout. Absolute sellout.
not to plug your own league.
Yeah, my league.
If we're doing that
I'm
well,
just, I'm just a voice of the league. I've got no other input whatsoever.
He says plugging at every opportunity.
Yeah.
No, I'm a salesperson. I sell for a living. I sell the product that's in front of me, and you fed the fish, and I took the bait. So yeah, thanks.
Josh, just put that MDR shirt in front of him quickly. Yep, there. Right, sell that one.
What is this high goes? You know, I just see it's.
Does it look stretched?
Oh no.
Extra large L'Oreal lard. It says in that. Or was that extra below?
Yikes!
I was just about to say Hygo might be the first person we interview, but
Well, as I was
Might
saying, we
change
are
that
taking
now.
applications for next year's seat alongside me, so it will be a large seat to fill. But you know, that's granted, given the replacement, the replacee. I've just got a whisper from him as well, so that's a yikes. Sorry,
What, he's
Hago.
giving you chocolate?
I didn't think he gave chocolate out. If we could...
They look similar, but I don't think Hygo is Santa Claus. So.
We'll start as we mean to go
Well,
on.
he hasn't got enough reindeer to pull him. So at the moment, still it's the three Maltese drivers at the top.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
Segue out of that deep
No,
one.
let's cut away from that. It's Paul spinning. No one wants to see that. It's fine.
No, I don't think. Look through the field, I don't see any gun entertainment at the moment. You know, no one's binned it.
I'm
or anything
literally
like
on
that.
track.
Exactly, there's no good entertainment at the moment. Where are you in stat? 23rd.
Yeah, I was slamming on the
that
brake.
DRS, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you watch this time, mate.
You're behind a man on a controller.
Yeah.
It was like that most of the time at Sim League, so it's fine.
We're not having Sandeep join.
I was gonna say, yeah. Talk about Sandeep there, not me.
Also, who's Sim League? I've never heard of Sim League.
Okay,
Here
Rodrigo
we
wants
go,
us
we
to
got-
do a full onboard and do a full track guide with someone that doesn't spin. So Jack, no pressure, don't spin. Just going through turn one, it's a very tricky uphill braking, which actually means you can brake a lot later than you would expect. We've got the S's here that were, I guess, stolen from Silverstone, which Jack can't do at all.
I didn't spin though.
He didn't spin, no, that's true. We got this one, don't destroy your suspension here, we don't want a freewheeler. Thank you, Seb. Nice Astro though. Hairpin here, I mean...
That's a braking zone, Josh.
Yeah, I would do a track guide on a track that I actually kind of enjoy and has some interesting things about it, but...
And cars that are not too fast for you.
Yeah, exactly, I can't quite...
Everybody dislikes that.
Coater is a little bit... I don't know, not the best.
Brake!
Heavy braking
Into
zone
the
there,
corner.
I wish I had my 100% there.
Yeah, press your DRS button into that braking zone. It's tricky, quite a tricky exit there because you're turning all the time and you get turning under braking as well. Don't caveat it there. Good. You've got the turkey clone. Don't cut the corner there and get a podium because you'll lose it.
Don't get a podium? Mate,
Yeah.
why did we keep Hago?
Ooh, ooh. even while trying to drive these, you know. And the final corner there, which you've track extended like an absolute beaut. Nice.
Mate,
18th.
thank you GPVWC.
Ahead of
track
Hygo.
limits.
There you go,
Of course
Rodrigo.
I am.
Was that good enough for you?
But,
Uh,
all the wiggles you saw under power, they're not mandatory.
No,
as
that
well.
is
They're
a driver
purely for
option.
optional.
Yeah. So let's go on board with Jason, see what he's doing. See if we can get a proper, good hot lap. Here we go.
I'm on super sauce, mate. Fuck off.
He's on ultras.
That just kind
I'll
of
shut
helped
you
his
up.
point there.
No, this is going to be a
Yeah,
proper
I
quick
was gonna say,
committed lap.
it's-
Look at this. He's in every apex.
This
What's
is
an
a
apex?
beautiful lap.
Look at that.
Who's in front of me?
This
Oh,
is why
right,
he was a Super Cup champion, Jack, and you're not.
That's why he's a
I
super
say,
Oh,
Driver,
he
driver.
did
I'm
just
not.
lock
gotta
up
be-
though.
You've got to be nice to him anyway, you know. Obviously,
Yeah,
I'm sure you're off
he's
to
going to be our tour guide.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
He's getting a slipstream off a car that's on the red bit down the main straight. That's good. This is actually a much cleaner lap than yours, Jack. Not gonna lie. So,
Well, yeah.
Step up your game for next year.
Gosh, Jason actually did the last. Actually, was it the last round? I know he did Super League race, and so I think it might have been for the last round in Brazil actually as well. So he's obviously got some good experience in this car, and doing a cracking job so far in this lap. You know, he's been pretty damn smooth. You know, not buggering it up like many
Fuck
have
off.
in the past. no names mentioned, Jack.
Nice.
There you go, across the line there as well. I don't think that was an improvement.
Well,
No,
if he's
it was
behind me,
very,
can
very
I get
close.
Can I get oh yeah, answer Skinner.
Oh, okay.
Destroyed one GPV team, wants an attempt at a second. Let's go.
Ooh, yikes.
Here we go. So just looking through the standings, yeah, it's Danny Robbins 5th, Sandeep Singh 6th, David Crasher Krupa 7th.
Oh, I was gonna get some bites. I
Menno
don't think they picked that one up, don't worry.
Menno Sacklon 8, George Rapperboy Whitehouse 9th, and Frank
Rapperboy.
Ham Sandwich 10th.
Nice.
I suppose with that question, is it a good time to get some guests in to have a little chat? Alex
yeah,
is here wanting to join.
Yeah, go. Let's bring Alex in. We
With
can
a
have a bit of
beautiful
banter.
message of "Let me in, slut." So,
That's definitely directed to you, Josh.
well, yeah. Here we go.
Yes, basically.
Here's Alex.
Sup, bitches.
Sup, prick? Ah, feelings are mutual. Let's go. Off to a good start.
You can tell this is an MDR
So-
stream.
I know. You can tell Chaos and MDR are already slating each other.
Who's Chaos?
Yeah, I only
you
know
know-
an Idols here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the team that don't exist in GPV anymore.
I was gonna say
Wow.
MDR's all about memes, but not dead memes.
Ooh.
Oof. Another me, Jack. Why the fuck are you on supers?
Because I do what I want. What do you want me on? Wets?
I was
Yeah,
about to say, is
but
Andreas
DRS
making
button.
you do like long runs or something?
No, I am. You know,
Ah, fair
I've got to hide my pace.
enough.
I don't
I
want
think
people
we just
going
get-
into Australia think, oh my god, Jack's the guy to beat.
No
Me
one's
is-
gonna
me
think
is-
that.
No one said
Yeah,
that.
no one's gonna say that.
No one's
Me
ever
is gonna
said
be
that.
pissed off at me because I've just constantly. She's done a lap, I've gone quicker. She's done a lap, I've gone quicker.
Josh, sound familiar?
Yeah, it's been a real
Like
bad
she
year
was
for
sat
Heiko,
there for
hasn't it?
like 5 of my laps, and she just wasn't like she was ahead of me, and I just set a lap and I went like 600 quicker.
Ah, perfect.
I'm only 400s off fucking Rob Mason.
Ah, it's decent. Well, so I've raced
That was
Mason
some
a few
pace, to
times
be
in the
fair. I'm
past. He's
impressed with my
pretty
quality.
good.
I was about to say, I'm impressed with my quality pace at the moment, to be fair.
No one saw that, did they, Josh?
No, I went on
Well,
board
no, I
with
didn't
Christoph
see
just
it,
to see he
none.
was parked in the grass, so
Oh, that's
no,
cool.
no one saw whatever you did.
I was just
Did
taking
you
a
see
chill.
the meme I had with Jason, with fucking Menno earlier, where I spun and then he spun into me?
Well, Menno is the sort of guy who's sort of like, oh, let's join you. You know, he's,
Yeah, he is. It was good fun.
he's you know, I'm surprised he didn't ask you for a bring chaos back while you was there. You know,
Like, spin there
for next
done
year.
it.
You know, and
Did you like that,
drive.
Josh?
I'm on board with
Oh
that.
fuck, forgot to shift.
I just had a very nasty moment through the triple right-hander.
Now
Why am I
watching
not surprised?
Hygo go through the triple right-hander, but he could.
Hint, hint, I wouldn't... Josh, mate, if you're going to do a broadcast, make it better than GPV and actually show good replays.
Ooh.
Oh, thanks.
Or
Thanks.
replays in general.
Yeah, look, the reason I didn't show a lot of replays was because of the broadcast machine being a piece of shit. And also because we
Yikes.
didn't have a proper replay graphic, so I
Just
wanted to have like a replay graphic to use.
Oh, here we go.
I wonder whose idea that was.
Who was that? That was Caitlin Penny up in front, losing it a little bit, and then Jack tried to go around the outside of her and almost died. That was very close.
Oh,
I love
that
how
was the back
Caitlin
end of
can't-
Caitlin I was
Caitlin-
following.
Caitlin's
Okay.
unable to
Yeah,
drive
that
the
was-
fucking epic setup, right, which is a piece of piss. And then I'm sat here driving the
Please
FTF
send.
setup, which is loose as fuck. And I'm
Oh.
liking it.
I wouldn't mind a loose rear end.
Uh,
Hold up.
I don't want to know what you want to do on Friday night.
Yeah.
Hold up.
To be fair, this car is actually really fucking nice to drive.
Even as someone who
Ooh.
only did 2 races and gave up, I can confirm it's pretty fun.
For the sake of
I
content, I'll
haven't
just
done
like to say
like
hi,
I've done
Dad.
0 laps in this car in my life, and I'm already quicker than like people that have probably practiced in this car before. Jack.
Mikey Bell included, you know. Mikey Bell
That's a
did a
nice
full season.
old-
Wait, is Mike slower than me?
Yes, he is.
Fucking hell, he's probably on race runs.
Tom
Hey, it's ultra
Parker as
stuff
well.
time. I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
quite
Tom
fun.
Parker is definitely on fucking hot faps, and he's failing.
So
What wings
obviously,
you on, Alex? Just for the sake of verity.
I'll tell you when I finish this hot lap. Well, it's a couple of rounds.
I'll tell you, that's a great interview, isn't it? Imagine Ted Kravitz saying that. You know, "Oh, what's your step?
What
I'll
front
pass
wings
it
are you guys on here at Mercedes?
on."
Yeah, you
exactly,
got
I'll
Hamilton
pass
out
it-
in
pass it around.
quali, and he goes on board with him to chat
Just
to him
asking
and
for a
ask him
friend
for his
what setup you're running.
I'll put that in my notebook.
All I know is I'm running the FTF setup from Austin, so I'm actually running their setup.
Oh.
Caitlin Penny's off the track yet again as
No, I've
well.
got bloody Mason behind me, for fuck's sake. Also, I lose like 3/10 in the final sector alone.
Just drive faster.
That does
It's
help
confident.
actually.
It's
Yeah.
confidence on the throttle for me on this in this car.
Just be more confident. Then.
Believe.
Oh no,
Like
honestly,
flat
it's
laps
just a case
are
of
really good.
more laps I get in it, the better I will get. So it's good fun.
So, what's your thoughts on the year as you're here, Alex? Make it like a proper interview.
What thoughts do you want?
How long have you got?
I don't know.
That's
Nah,
amazing
genuinely,
thoughts on your
if we
team,
go-
obviously,
If I'll
finishing
start off with the chaos side, the IDOS chaos side, because I think that will get less swearing.
Well, on your end,
Yeah, well, my
that.
don't get us started.
But you know, we came into the year, we had Horrell and Riedfeld, and we said, okay, we don't want to just be a grid filler, if you get me. Like, our original target was to not be a grid filler, get points every race, you know, and just show that we could have pace.
So you got
And,
Ben
you know, we
Horrell to
thought-
do that, yeah.
You took words out my mouth, but I was eating a biscuit.
So, you know, yeah, Ben showed pace. Oh fuck, I've run out of fuel.
Oh, brilliant.
That's Malaysia summed up.
Not at all on quali runs, Alex.
Just had a fuel leak. That's what it was. He left the fuel. He left the fuel tank in the garage. That's what it was.
We'll hear that Nelson Piquet story from years
But no,
ago. Fuel leak! And he just pissed, saying to his Charlie Whiting at the time, fuel leak, and he was just pissing in the car. So, of course, Charlie Whiting put his finger in, tasted it, and he was like,
But no, genuinely, like, but no, like, after the race one, it looked alright. Obviously, Cass got taken out, so it wasn't, you know, going to be the greatest of starts. But we thought, okay, we'll build on this. Cass then dropped out because he had to miss Bahrain for personal reasons, and then after that, he basically just couldn't commit to SLL at the time. So he said, I'm not gonna put you guys in a bad spot. So I said, that's fair enough, you know. Then, oh no, it was Sepang race 2, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry, no, Sepang race 2, which he didn't do. So we had Galka in the car. Now, Galka, admittedly, last minute, very little practice. Okay, so I can't complain about his result. He actually did, you know, he was driving really well for the practice he had. Horrell, on the other hand, and the whole of SRS, I'm not going to blame certain people exactly. I'm just going to say the whole of SRS knew that setup wasn't going to work. I guarantee it. Because the fact that after SLL, they changed the radiator in that car.
Well, it's probably
To
because
their
they saw
own
you
set.
blow up, to be fair. But
Yeah, but you should have, with enough testing, you could have told that it was going to blow up, 100%. Even Cass had said that. He did like 10 laps and he knew the engine would blow up if we left it on that radiator. But like, you know, shit happens. So I said it how it was. I said, I don't want this to become a trend because I've seen it happen in Super League last year where bad results then become a trend.
Yep.
And they got extremely defensive and had a go at me for it. So I said to him, you know what? Fuck you. Get the fuck out. And let Mike Bell sack Ben Horrell for me.
And then he came running to us.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. But then.
Yeah, that was interesting when you told me that.
But I mean, you know, we were already happy with. Well,
You're too
say happy
right.
with
Well,
our lineup. I was meant to be the driver, but obviously that didn't really
Yeah.
happen.
At least we had
but-
50% people happy with it then.
yeah. But
Yeah,
you know,
that was on the back of Jack doing well at back and stuff. So,
we then got Faber in because Tim Straub-Lubin messaged me and he was like, I want to get rid of my two guys. So I said, okay, I can only take one of them. You know, which was quite sad because I like, you know, Faber and Galka, both good friends of mine. But when, you know, not Galka, sorry, when Rietveld pulled out, I said, well, that makes my life easy. So I brought both of them on. So I thought, well, you know, Galka's been with me last year. He'll be, you know, I know what he's like, and he can be really committed, and he gets on with Faber. So, you know, we've already got a pair with chemistry. Why not, you know, just bring him in? Faber instantaneously improved to me why he deserved that seat with his finish at Bahrain and the fact he was fighting for a podium in his debut race in that car.
Yeah.
Like, that was, you know, I was watching that, obviously broadcasting that, and I was sat there in awe. I was so impressed with him.
Josh, you know what I was saying about Bahrain was by far the best race of the season as a race.
It was,
Do you take that
honestly,
back
it was
now that
actually,
they got a podium?
it was actually, we didn't actually, we got P4, but it was honestly a really fun race to watch.
It
and a
was
really
like
fun
the
race to
final
be a part
3
of.
laps where you had 3 different fights going on, all actually close on the track as well.
Yeah, it was like, it was fucking amazing to
was.
watch. Like, I genuinely can't, like, I go back and watch that race so many times.
Oh my god,
Like,
same.
it's so fun. But like, you then, you know, the rest of the year, we then had Galka run through, and then there was a bit of a contract thing. It was like, his emergency contract was running out. Now, I didn't know that the licenses were the same. And, he said he was going to message Chris about it. Fair enough, do it, you know. But at that point, we were getting very close to Spain. And I didn't, you know, I was like, well, we need to get some practice in. And Mark Hutchinson had messaged me. And I was like, well, I know what Mark's like. He's bloody quick.
Yeah.
So I put him in the car. I just went, just did it out of impulse at that point. I just put him in the car. You know, I regret not being as open about it to Michal. No, that's honestly, hand on my heart, I made that mistake, not being open about it. And it didn't end well, obviously. But in terms of results, I don't regret it at the end of the day.
It's alright. David knows all about not necessarily being fair to a driver to get the results, so it's fine.
That's it. Well, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, if you get promoted.
Yeah,
That's
if
what it's
you
all
want to be at
about.
the top of the series, then you can't necessarily just be friendly to everyone. You need to make these
You need
decisions.
to put your foot down and
Yeah.
do it. And it's like, you know, I miss Michal because he's quit GPV and everything. So like, I do miss him. He's a really nice guy. But obviously, you know, at the end of the day, I had him, and then Faber announced he was going to be away for Silverstone. So Kian offered to up. And he said, if you got seat spare. I said, yeah, sure. He then did so well that race.
That's
With the
Silverstone, wasn't
podium.
it?
That was Silverstone. That was the podium when we rebranded to Chaos.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was obviously so elated because it's like, well, this is the perfect start. You know, the GT Championship, the rebrand at Silverstone to then push up on a podium against, you know, the big teams. And I was like, okay, is this going to be a consistent thing? Because I know what Kian's like. I've known him for 2 years now. And it's like, he then expressed interest in staying with us because he'd been offered by TR Bluevos. Now, that was a big talking point for the season. TR versus us versus HRT. Now, obviously, is that you behind me? No, it's Sandeep. No, I just see this blue and white thing, and I'm like, is that Sandeep or is that Josh?
It's
won't be
definitely
me.
not Josh.
Yeah.
Can you not
Oh,
see the
sorry, is it
turban?
Jack. Funnily enough, I can't
So
from
done.
No,
here.
he's got his... Oh no, that's not. I thought he had
But,
his
you know,
helmet, but-
we then allow, you know, I said to Kian, I said, give me a couple days and let me think about it. To which I spoke to Faber, and he was like, I know you want Kian in the car. Because he knew I wanted Kian in the car. And honestly, honest to God, if Kian hadn't have offered himself up, Faber would still have been in that car for the end of the year, 100%. You know, I absolutely adore Adrian. Like, honestly, one of the best drivers and funniest guys I've ever spoken to. Like, he is really good. Honestly, people don't credit him enough for how well he drives, because he actually drives really well. But you know, it's that time. I was like, do I really want to give a front end driver to a rival team? You know, it's like, you know, if fucking Gosby, or it's like if fucking Schmidt had stopped racing for Smile Power and come to us, if you get me, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
am I really gonna let him be free to go somewhere else, or do I want him and win these races?
So I like how
Oh,
you called
fuck's
it
sake,
Smile
Parker.
Power there, by the way. So,
Yeah, fucking hell. I'm so
interesting.
used. It basically was run by Mike at the end of the year. So why the fuck not?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like, no, not gonna be horrible, but it was. You know.
Yeah, I'll say it's,
God,
I'll
who's
say
that?
you know a lot of us think the same way about Cosmo / Smile Power. You know, make it Smile Power. Cosmo, Cosmo, with respect, just a knout this year, pretty much.
Mm.
Make it Smile Power. Get him in Super League.
I had
I'd-
some
I'd-
very
I'd do
selective
that.
thoughts about certain teams this year on the grid, about like promotion, relegation, and a few people know my thoughts about them, but others don't. And I'll reveal them in this. I don't care, but
Go for it,
like,
that's what it's for, mate.
I feel like
Yeah.
we've probably had similar
This is like the
thoughts.
agony art
If we're
room.
still talking about Cosmo, I think we've had similar thoughts about their promotion.
but like but you then look at the rest of the year, and I had Kian and Mark full year, no swaps except for one race, in which we had Cameron do it, and that was Monza. And I didn't really expect much with Cam. I love Cam to pieces, but he wasn't ready
Monza.
for that race.
What a race. That was a race and a half, Monza. I love that.
You
I
gonna
just
talk
wish I
about
didn't-
that one specific overtake, and then
We've
No, I
had
loads of
so
overtakes,
many.
mate.
The thing
you
is,
also got
right, and I
driver.
know I'm going to be slated, and I know I'm going to be told, "Oh, that's racing. What do you expect?" But we've had so many races where we should have finished higher, 100%. So many races, like for the amount of races that Mark and Kian had, they should have finished higher in so many of them. But the way the race went, we've either had damage, we've either been taken off, we've either had curbs, and you name it, we've probably fucking had it this year.
Yeah, you've probably had a very unfortunate year. I know, obviously, the other side of the garage at MDR had a load of issues, especially.
Load of issues being the driver.
But on my
yeah.
side, I will say it's definitely the cleanest season I've had in sim racing for a long time.
Oh no, I'll agree.
Yeah, I
We've not
think
had as
after-
many accidents
after
as
the
last
start
year.
we had, where it was clear, obviously we were kind of clearly
Midfield.
being midfield. We rather went for we'll settle with the midfield and work on getting the team better in general, rather than getting drivers in to outright get like podiums and wins and stuff. We did
Because
Well,
eventually
it's like
those drivers, we had no plans of being in Super League anytime soon.
No,
So we didn't want to take drivers like Gosby because they will leave us. We
Yeah.
were thinking more long term. Obviously, okay, Hago's not with us next year, but it's still a long term project.
well, it's like with us, I wanted to get into Super League because I knew I could potentially get that driver base straight away because of the the people I know, the people I talk to,
Of
and
course,
such.
yeah.
So it's like, why am I going to sit around in lights when I could quite happily get myself 2 Super League drivers? And I've proved that, 2 drivers that are Super League capable. Kian at Spa running up the front, Mark, well, we already know he's, pedigree Super League. Yeah, exactly. So, like, why am I going to sit here when I could potentially have both of them for 2020, if you get me?
Yeah,
But,
I know what you
like,
mean.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
obviously, that's already gone down the drain with Mark saying he's not doing GPV anymore.
And Chaos also not doing sim racing
well,
anymore.
I'll
I think that's a bigger thing right there.
I'll explain that. I'll explain that actually, because there's a bit more of a ambiguity to that statement that I made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there. Oh, just got to let someone by. But it's Parker. But this whole season for us has definitely had its bad luck. 100%. We've not been perfect. Like, our luck started to go down after I'd say Monza. Actually, every race after Monza we didn't have luck because Hockenheim, Kian did a Vettel.
That's before
Singapore.
Monza.
Oh well, fine. Okay.
Not a
but
great start, Alex.
Hockenheim then. Okay.
After Hockenheim, alright. So you copied Ferrari. You had a bad
Pretty
Hockenheim
much,
where someone
yeah.
crashed.
We
and
are
then we're like, right, that's
basically
it then.
fucking Ferrari at this point. Like, we had a really bad Hockenheim. We had a not so great Singapore. Well, we didn't have great Singapore at all actually, because Hutchinson fucking got curbed out, and then Kian got taken out.
Yep.
We didn't have a great Suzuka.
I don't even remember Suzuka.
Austin, we got fucked on that one by Schmidt. Whether accidental or not, different question.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we've-
that could be controversial.
Point matters. We
Let's
got
go
fucked.
for it.
Yeah.
I
no
don't
matter
think
what.
Lucas isn't that kind of guy, but he should have got a penalty for that 100%. You know, it's a driver error that instantly tells you that is a penalty, 100%. You know,
Yeah.
like if you lock up and go into the back of someone, you're at fault for that. So why, if someone locks up and goes into you, why are you not at fault? Why are they not at fault for that?
Yeah, I'll say I agree on that point. I think obviously it was a
And
little
it's
bit
like
different because
when they
he was in
then
front
penalised,
and
and the
he had
change in the
like a double
DC,
downshift thing, but still it's a driver error causing ruining the race for someone else. So yeah, that probably should have been.
exactly. And it's like you look at fucking the penalty Bell got in Canada for having quote unquote lag. Well, they didn't penalise fucking Pascal, did they? And that, that's the excuse of that's a change in the DC. I don't care. You keep consistent with what the DC have been doing that year. You don't change it mid-season, because otherwise you then open yourself to discussions like this.
Yeah.
And I wanted that fucking Turkey result to be overturned, especially as it was my team involved. Our team involved looking for a first win. Like, I don't care. I wanted that result overturned. I still do to this day.
Yeah.
And I did speak to Rob about it. It's like when Rob said I said, why the fuck haven't you overturned that result? And he went, because it's the old DC. And I'm like, I'm gonna be as pissed off anyway. But like, love Rob to bits. He's been really helpful with me, like speaking to me about certain things, and we've clarified a lot.
I think that's the great thing since Rob's taken over, and I think
He's
a lot of people
been a lot more
outstanding.
communicative, which Roy never was. Heck, I tried to be as communicative as I was as deputy head, but I couldn't do anything because I was deputy fucking head.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything because I didn't have the permissions or the admin to. I always had to go to Roy, who would never accept anything I said. Like, and then that whole Spain saga last year, which fucking hell. I think if anyone remembers that Spain saga Super Cup, that was
annoyed me a little bit.
Like, me and the guys, it was me, Fidek, Butcher, Herkstra were the main four on the Super Cup DC because I brought those guys in. I brought in Fidek and Butcher. And we all read the rules point blank, which is what you do. You read them word for word. And we used it word to word. Roy used his interpretation of his own ruling, which, no, you don't do that. And, I explained it to him politely, and it did get overturned, thankfully, because, well, it was sort of, a two against one, it was a everyone against everyone else situation at that point, and he had no other option. But, DC this year, not inconsistent, but not consistent, I don't think. I think a mediocre.
It's definitely been an improvement, though.
It's
I'd say I think
much
Rob
better.
has done a great job of coming in and
I've helped Rob out where I could.
communicating
I still actually need to do the fucking quality cuts from Formula Challenge, but I'm not in a rush to do them, and nor is Rob.
No, you don't have to look at that. It's absolutely fine.
But no,
Wait till
like,
after GPV Day to say that Jono was the champion.
the AB are fucking disqualified.
Yeah.
But no, like, I look at this year, right, and I look back on it with actually quite a positive view in a way, until I look at the BC side. And heck, a lot of people know my quarrels with it. A lot of people. I'm now out of contract, so I can now speak about it, if you get me.
Yeah.
So I was contracted by GPVWC at the start of the year to produce broadcasts for the Career Ladder series and the Independent series, which consisted of Formula Challenge, Academy, Super Cup, Super League Light, World GT, and ITC. Now, obviously, that excluded Super League, but I helped Garrett out where I could because Garrett helped me out a lot. We shared the workload where we could, and when one of us wanted to drive, the other did broadcast. Basically, end of sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Garrett I can't say anything bad about him. He's been so fucking amazing all year, and I very much stick by him with his words that he said this year. But the way we started the year off actually quite well. Australia, Sepang, Bahrain, fine. Everything was good. After that, it went downhill. And that was mainly because one member of the broadcast group decided to go AWOL on us, and that was Franchich, the head of broadcasting. Now, usually when someone goes missing in broadcast, it's usually fine. You can get someone else in. you can't really do that with the head of the broadcasting. You know, and it's
yeah,
like,
as
You know.
difficult person to replace.
so, so I took that role. I said, fuck it. I don't care. I'm taking that role. I am managing this shit. Yes, admittedly, didn't do the best job of it, as Carter can agree. But
Did what, in the end of the day, you did what you could with the tools you had around you. Me being one of those tools. No, I'm joking.
Can confirm, as I said earlier, the whole Crossfire is a bunch of tools.
But in the end, I'll be honest, right? I haven't seen Frankic message at all.
he hasn't messaged since April.
So this is what I'm saying about GPV Day. You know, when I don't think when they announce a thing, it should be an announcements thing. It should be more of a debate rather than to say, "Oh, this is what we're going to do in 2020." It should be more of a debate where people can get involved. Now, I don't think that's going to be too well received if that was to happen.
It won't be.
But,
What someone needs to do is when it's announced, when something is announced, they need to question it. They need to fully question this thing. They need to go to Will and go, in the middle of this presentation, don't care how long it takes. And obviously, sadly, I'm not going to be there because it's in Malta. But
That's free will. It's all right.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
God.
Will is very lucky
We'll
that
be
I'm
the
not
ones
going to be there in
pressing.
Malta. Yeah, no, but this is the thing. Someone needs to be there to point blank go, I don't like that. Why is it like this? Or why can't it be like this, this, or this? That is the questions that they need to be asking, and that is the questions that need to be asked and answered. There have been a lot of unanswered questions this year. Granted, Will's situation, not the best, but
No.
still, there need to be questions answered. Because I know from some other sources, and I won't reveal their names due to their confidentiality, but other people have had unanswered questions, yet they have been replied to with questions totally relevant to GPV in about 10 minutes in the same night. And you have to look at that at the end of the day and go, why is it like that?
Yeah.
And you can't. You physically can't.
Well,
You
in the end
know.
of the day, the way I look at it, the people, it's like a football club. The fans or the drivers are
Fuck
the
me.
blood of the club, and without the drivers or the fans or what have you, you got nothing. So
You know.
you've got to look after the people who's involved to look after the series at the end of the day. So
And yeah, I spoke to
And-
James a lot, and people know that before Spa, I didn't have the greatest opinion on him. Or not the greatest opinion, but I didn't have the greatest view because of certain things and yada, 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 yada. But I spoke to him at Spa and actually had a proper conversation about everything and opened myself up. And I went, look, this is what I've heard. This is what the thing. And he was completely open with me. Did not hide any details. He did not hide anything.
this Kirk we're talking about.
Yeah, this is Kirk we're
Yeah.
talking about. And that is why, to this day, that is why from Spa onwards, I was very, very critical with the series and with everything else
Yeah.
because he explained to me absolutely everything. And that is also why me, James, and Corey are three very, very confident casters with each other because we all know each other very well.
Yeah.
And we've all spoken to each other a fair amount, you know. But it was from that point I was like, okay, I've been lied to in a way. And I've also experiencing the same thing that James is experiencing. I wonder why, you know.
Yeah.
And that is why I was very critical towards any, especially speaking to you, David, where I said, I'm not doing this again unless Will is willing to cough up. Because, you know, I won't deny I was on a paid contract. Not at all. Although I was being paid to do the job. I was being paid so I could be able to do this job. So, you know, it wasn't like I was being paid for the sake of being paid, if you get me. You know, and I won't complain about that because, well, it was only myself and one other person, a la James, that was being contracted for that. So I will not, you know, I won't complain. But Pittman's very well aware of my complaints. Carter, you're very well aware of my
Yep.
complaints. So is Garrett, you know, and I feel they're warranted. I feel they're perfectly respectable, you know, but at the end of the day, nothing in the contract was broken. Except for 1 month, and even then, I was very generous with that.
Yeah.
Of which that was on my end, and that was because I was away for 2 weeks. Oh no, was I? No, I was away for a week. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I won't accept that because that's unfair. I made that choice. No one else. I did. And I said to Will on the day, and I said it in the stuff as well. I said, it has excluded this certain month due to these reasons. No mention of, oh, thank you, I appreciate your honesty or anything else. You know, and it always took Pittman to bug him about 5 times at least in a day to get anything sorted.
Yeah.
And it was like, you really don't care, do you? You really couldn't care less that someone's spending their time, their evenings that they could be doing, having fun with friends. You know. And I will admit, I had a lot of personal circumstance going on with friends and everything else in college and everything. And at the end of the day, I got very stressed out doing GPVWC work. But that's not because it was difficult. Not so. It's, you know, sitting here for 2 odd hours doing cameras. Fine, you know, it's good fun. But it's, you know, the lack of support, the lack of communication, the lack of dedication from certain members. You know, yeah, and that's what sort of turned me into a bit of a cunt at the end of the day. You know, and, you know, I've apologised to Lewis and I've apologised to the members that I did piss off a fair amount because, you know, it wasn't right. But at the end of the day, I was paid to do something properly. If it's not being done properly, well, then it's pointless at the end of the day for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I never had to worry about Superleague because I knew Garrett would be there. If he wasn't, he'd ask me to do it. Simple. You know, I knew there would be 2 consistent commentators through the year, Carter and Tom. No problems. But Formula Challenge, there was only ever myself and Mike because no one would ever do a Tuesday. For Super Cup, there was only Caitlin, and when Caitlin wasn't around, there was no one.
Yeah.
For Lights, there was always me, Corey, and Kirk, perfectly fine until James dropped off, and
Yeah.
Corey had commitments, paid commitments, I might add. So I said to him, go for the paid commitments. What are you asking? Why are you saying you don't want to do that?
Exactly. Who turns down money at the end of the day?
Exactly.
And if being looked after as well.
And especially
Even
with
better.
the amount that he helped me push myself into mainstream casting now, you know, I'm going to go. I'm going to be more lenient. I'm going to be more helpful to him. You know, and if that means we get a broadcast without commentary every now and then, so be it at the end of the day. You know. But, you know, you then look at GT, that was meant to be James and Corey. Now, James had issues with the GT packs. Fine. Okay, we spoke about this. I stepped in. And that's why I did that. And when I said to Pittman, I said, well, Kirk's had to drop off because of tech issues. Can I take the rest of the year? Pittman was fine with that. So I did. You know, I did that. That was why World GT was always me and Corey. I loved that. Except from when we had, I think it was about 4 of us in the booth or something at one point, which was, I think, Thailand. I think it was me and Corey. No, it was me, then James. Me, then James and Stefan. And then James and Stefan, then me and Stefan.
Yeah.
You know, but that was a good laugh at the end of the day. You know, like I enjoyed that for the meme that it was. And, you know, but this whole broadcast year, as much as we managed to keep it pretty calm, it has been a diabolical mess. And I will never forgive anyone for that. Oh, no, I don't forgive myself for making it a diabolical mess in my effects, if you get me. You know. And I was tempted to put a post publicly at the end of the year, but I thought, you know what? Will can do that. Will can explain why the broadcasting hasn't been top quality this year. Will can then say what he wants, and if anyone has any questions, they can message me about it, and they will get the truth. But I thought, you know what? As there's a red button stream tonight, let's go for it.
Get it all out of the way.
Yeah,
May as well.
all off your chest.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
know, and it's like, if people want me to do it next year, if people personally want me to do it next year, then there will have to be a lot rallied up to get me to do it. Because I can't afford to do it effectively. I just can't, you know, physically. But, like, you know, people are going to have to, you know, and I don't mean this to sound needy or sound anything, you know, I'm just putting this out there from a business standpoint now. If I am wanted, you've got to show it. You know, the lack of communication, the lack of education, you know, is enough just to put me off already. And I've said that. And the reason Chaos aren't here next year, you know, screw the announcement for now. This was before the announcement.
Yeah.
The reason Chaos aren't coming back is because of how diabolically run this league is. I adore Chris Williamson. Honestly, one of my favourite people in sim racing.
Yeah.
But by God, he cannot run this on his own. And I spoke to Will about taking over head of DC role for the rest of the year. But he only mentioned it for next year. No. I need access now. If you want me to do stuff, I need access so I can sort this shit out. You know? But he was never willing to. Yet he's known me for the past 3 years. Or, sorry, 2 years. You know, yeah, I've not been known for a decade or whatever, but you should have that trust in there now. Showing that I've even contracted myself to do something should show you that there is trust and there is and there is dedication there.
A commitment as well to doing it.
Exactly. And I commit myself to it. How many broadcasts did we miss in total? Perfectly honest. We missed Hockenheim because I couldn't get access to the broadcast machine because it was locked out for whatever reason. I couldn't do Monza because I was away in Germany.
Sorting out the broadcast machine by the sounds of it.
Well, I couldn't use my laptop.
I do want to say as well, actually.
No,
to be fair,
I
the
couldn't
broadcasts
use
that we've had have been very good. The official broadcasts we've had, where it's been like you and I guess Garrett has done the cams a lot, and obviously David commentated and stuff. They have been good, but like you say,
Yeah.
you need to have the commitment to it to actually do them all the time and be able to do them all the time. Like so
But what it shows is like when everything does come together, it is a very, very, very good stream, which shows the potential is there. It just needs the consistency
It's
and
like you look
the,
at any
the resources
of
to
the
keep the
early,
potential at that state.
you look at any of the early Super League Lights broadcasts up until Spain. Was there any issues with quality? Was there
No,
any
it's
issues with
perfect.
people there?
No,
It's
actually,
perfect.
in
And
my
I
opinion, the first
I
half of the Super League Light season was the best streams all year in all the series.
Yeah, and honestly, coming from the person who was who was fucking viewing that as a cameraman, thank you. You know,
You're
but
welcome.
me, James, and Corey put our fucking asses into that because it was the start of the year. Promises were being kept. Everything was fine. We all adored working with each other, and I admit those two are my two favorite people to work with, and they always have been. I still keep in very close contact with them. You know, because we are all involved in the same esports scene at the end of the day. You know, but as a whole, sim racing takes itself way too seriously, and it burnt all three of us out. You know, especially with how GPV was. And it was like, you know, I still put my heart and soul into this place because it is a home to me. You know, FSR is my first home. This is my second home in sim racing. You know, and like, I come here to do a job and enjoy it. Once we got through the mid-year, that's when everything went downhill. And it was like, okay, what do I do? You know, I still did what I could. I did everything as I could to the best of my ability. And just towards the end of the year, I was like, what's going to improve next year, if anything? And I was so burnt out, as I said today, and that's why we didn't get commentators for Brazil. I was so burnt out that day that I just couldn't. I was like, the best I can do is cameras, and even then, I'll admit it was on auto cameras. It was automatic cameras, and I'll admit that because I could not do it. I was just like, I was so tired that night and so burnt out. You know, it was like.
Well, I'll say cameras seem like an easy thing to do, but considering I'm doing it right now, I'm sure the people in the chat will say that it nowhere near looks as good as an actual broadcast should. Just flicking, flicking. Oh, there's Tom Parker cutting the corner.
You got more overlays and all the overlays on the broadcast, you know, which is something I didn't have in Suzuka for the Academy race.
Yeah,
so, you know, so you're halfway there.
I did offer to link that to you, David.
I know, I couldn't be bothered.
You know.
No, I appreciate the offer. I'm just like, no.
That accidentally turned into a very serious section of the stream, I guess. Just to change the tone a little bit, we've got Hygo here wanting to, or saying that he could join in if you want to have a little chat with him.
What's the chance of his first word being profanity?
Well, he's currently on track at the moment, so very high.
Yeah, very high.
Oh, no.
Let's see what it
Just
is.
get in front of him and take him out, and we'll work it out.
Wait, are you going through the S's, Jack?
I am.
You're
indeed.
not. You're a car behind him. He's
Hello.
he's that Hawkeye going up the hill.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hygo's back in the pits.
But no,
Hello,
I'm sorry
Hygo.
to down the mood a bit.
Hello there,
but,
Hygo.
It's right, it's the red
how are you
button.
enjoying
Anything
so
can be
far?
said.
Anything to be said?
Oh, I'll be back in a minute.
My mouse has now
Oh.
disappeared off my screen.
I'm trying to find a way to say profanities without saying them.
Oh. Hello there.
Mate, the mouse has now disappeared off my screen. That's very
If you would
useful.
like to just introduce
I'm
yourself,
going
Hago,
to-
because
I'm
no one
going
knows who
to-
you are.
Before Hagen stops, I'm going to head off for the night. Take care,
Oh.
gentlemen. And I
Take
hope
care,
my-
Alex, and I
hope
hope
Good
my
to
to.
hear from
video
you.
insight has been, yeah, hopefully a bit helpful to those watching who aren't necessarily fully informationed on the events this year.
Well,
Thanks
for you
for
to be as
joining us,
open as
mate.
you
Good to
have,
hear, yeah, thanks for
that's
joining.
been brilliant. You know, for you to be open as you have been, and hope to at least keep in contact. You know, throughout the winter and next year as well. Alex,
sure.
you take care, mate.
You two guys, take care.
See you, man.
Cheers.
But that has been Alex, and I hope obviously it probably ran a bit longer than you guys may have anticipated there. But it's good to
Did
hear
it.
Alex out in the open there as well. So joined by Hygo Poom now, another MDR employee / ex-employee.
Employee?
You know,
Not paying
I
them.
don't think that's true anymore. Hello, how you go?
Hi.
How's it
Drink with the
going, my
teeth.
good old friend?
Don't call me a friend.
Ooh.
You right, twat face?
Okay, that. But yeah, it's going fine. I'm trying to figure out the Super League car, but otherwise.
I mean, it's yours, but with more downforce. Or the MDR
Yeah.
with more downforce.
I have been struggling, to be fair. I don't know what it is. I'm
I
not
don't know
sure
why
it's-
I'm so off pace. Like I'm driving like I used to. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, let's just say my first 3 laps I was throttle blipping.
Yeah, this isn't a Porsche.
Yeah, so that's where that's come from. What sort of stints you been doing? You know, let's just get the technical edge on you before we start getting into the banter.
Your stints in one lap.
Yeah,
One
he's
lap,
done
1 lap,
19
10
laps
laps,
so
one
far.
lap, 1 lap, 10.
Well, no, he's done
Well,
5 laps so far.
Well,
So,
yeah.
I have
so,
too many times.
so Hygo, you're obviously did the 2019 season here. Obviously, we don't know your plans next year, but what would you be your ideal plan for next year? You know, say you got a blank sheet of paper to work from. What would you be your ideal Series 2 competing next year?
You can't say MDR.
That is not a series.
Sorry, I will
Or,
It's a
say
team.
or plans.
But you
or
could do it with
whatever.
a team as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But my ideal situation would be to probably carry on where I was left off, where I was sacked.
Brazil.
Oh no. Uh, I I would be the happiest going back to SLL or SL. I don't know. They are basically the same. One is just faster. But I don't mind if I do end up in Super Cup, for example. They I found those cars enjoyable, just not as much as the current SLL. But yeah, that's where I'm
be-
looking at right now.
Like, yeah, Hago does deserve, like, in all honesty, all jokes aside, for the next 2 minutes, I'll be serious here. He should have a seat in Super League Lights next year as his teammate and as someone who's obviously been working with him from the second half of the season. As Josh can probably confirm, he does put a lot of effort in during the races. Like, we mess about in practice now and again. You know, it's MDR. You see the fun bits.
Yeah,
But-
everyone's
Yeah,
seen the
cars
videos of
flying.
us crashing and flying in space. Yeah.
You know, it's just promotional shit.
Yeah.
But like the actual races, he does take seriously, and like there is passion there. Obviously, it's the second half of the season, from what would you say, Spa onwards, it went downhill.
Yeah, mostly
yeah.
because of
Spa,
technical problem.
exactly.
So
Like
as well,
he
because
had a
obviously
lot of
I've
bad.
been his engineer. I guess since Spa, hasn't it? And yeah, during the races, it's been great. You've put a lot of effort into it, and wanted to get the best result that you could, and tried to get the best result. Also, you've, like you were about to say, been unlucky with your computer. Has kind of killed you a few times, and
Yeah, and I
in
replaced
Japan,
it
obviously you
because
got
of
you you got unfortunately caught up with the guy lagging, but
yeah, not
obviously
going to say the name.
Brazil, you then well, it's mainly because I forgot the time. But obviously Brazil, you'd sorted out your computer, had no issues, and well beat Jack. And
That
Yeah,
lap
Jack-
one was
Jack kind of-
interesting.
Jack was burning through his tires, so and you
That
weren't.
lap one
so,
was interesting.
so-
Definitely Brazil was probably my best performance next to Canada.
You was looking forward to that more than the others, though, wasn't you? It was like that and
Yeah.
Singapore. Obviously, Singapore was unfortunate, but Brazil, you was looking forward to. That was we
Brazil
were
is
expecting that to
the
be
track, yeah, this
a
is
solid
that is
track
the
for you.
track I will always look forward to. If Interlagos is on the calendar, that's where my season will build up to.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a good track to me. I always perform, well, not always, 90% of the time I've done well on there, and this SLL race wasn't an exception except qualifying. Qualifying, I was surprised that I was so off base, and we are not talking about that incident.
What incident? I don't remember an incident.
No.
Yeah, we don't. There was no incident. Don't
The
worry
fuel
about it.
situation was an interesting one, but it's fine. It didn't cause any issues.
I only remember suddenly Lucas' car being in the side pod of me.
I just remember two cars crashing next to me, and I don't know why. Like there was double wave
Gee,
yellows.
I
and everything.
wonder.
I wonder.
But yeah, that did put me on the back end of the grid, somewhere I wasn't expecting to be. But I knew because it's Interlagos, I was confident in just getting back up, and because I had a new PC, it actually was possible.
Well,
So yeah.
in the public eye of things, has there been any talks of any teams so far for next year in any series, or can you at least say what series you've been talking to teams in, if there has been
I
any?
have had a few teams contact me, yeah.
Any names?
No.
Not to you.
Crossfire.
Not-
That's crossfire then.
Me, maybe.
That's Super Cup sorted.
I would rather quit before driving for Crossfires already.
FC champions would like to know your location.
Yeah, but exactly, it's the FC car.
Well, it's in Super Cup.
Not
I'm
next
pretty
year.
sure. I'm going to say, David, you're not going to enter your FC car until next year's Super Cup, are you?
Yeah, probably wouldn't be a good
I mean,
move.
it could be a penalty for them for existing.
Ooh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, looking at how the things have gone, suddenly FC car could easily outdrag an SC car in the straight line because logic. But yeah, I have had contact in the higher divisions, so Super Cup onwards.
That is something actually. Because obviously you joined around, what would you say? What month? Like March? No, not March. April time, would you say? you joined?
6 months, I think I counted when I got contacted by you guys. So and I
Yeah,
was
so about
there like a
April.
month before, maybe.
Because you made your debut in, was it Academy?
Yeah,
Or FC?
Academy
You
in
have driven
Bahrain, I think.
all
Just
of the
saying as
cars
well
from
that
this year's
Simon
career
might
ladder.
help with this. There is Rodrigo
Oh.
waiting, and we can get him in. He might know a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bring
I'm
bring
muted
in.
at the
yeah.
moment, but
Definitely comes to
Rodrigo,
mind.
welcome, and see if he can help out with what we're trying to.
Well, I
sort out
just
here.
wanted to ask,
piece the puzzle together.
Yeah.
as Hago has actually now done a race or a session in every career ladder car, if he could actually explain the technical differences, like how it feels, and which ones he prefers. Because, like, okay, people have raced in Formula Challenge in previous years and they made Super Cup and then to Super League or whatever, but he's driven all four
I have driven
of the
everything.
series, exactly, of this year. So, you know, if you want to, like, you know, I feel like that phrase has already been overused tonight.
Yeah, we can't say no at all.
If you know what I mean, how would you describe each car and which one's your favourite?
Oh, that's a tough one, actually.
Well, we know he won't
I
say the
think
MDR. He hates that one.
I mean, that's
Oh,
just a
yeah,
category on its own then.
Yeah.
You say he ate that one.
He preferred
Well.
the Formula Challenge car.
Oh, welcome, Rodrigo.
Welcome,
Hi,
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Hello, Rodrigo.
My personal guardian. But yeah, I think actually I've actually driven everything but the GT, so I can kind of give an opinion on the ITC as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, but everyone knows the ITC is awful, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Don't need
I
to
mean,
say that.
Ooh.
but I'm gonna go backwards. My least favorite is definitely the Formula Challenge. It just just the lack of aero didn't feel as good as it should have. Something was highly missing of that car when you were driving it. It felt floaty.
Well, with you, it's probably the front wing, but yeah.
Yeah, probably it didn't even have a front wing, so yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah?
So yeah, it just overall the car wasn't feeling right. I can't really comment anything else about it. Maybe because it was kind of designed around relying on the assists. It definitely needed them in order to be competitive.
Then you've
It
got like
just-
Super Cup and Super League. Like, just move on to Super Cup and Super League. Now, obviously, Super League, okay, we'll say Super League Lights, but it's basically Super League. And it
It's the
is
same.
quite a big jump, isn't it, from the Super Cup to the Super League Lights?
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest jump.
They're
When you go
completely
from
different
challenge
cars,
to
yeah.
when you go to challenge to Super Cup, you can still you are pretty familiar with the space you are in already. The car is just Formula Challenge without assist and a little bit bigger. It is a lot more oversteering, so it actually has aerodynamics. But yeah, when I did make the jump to SLL, just the commitment you need to enter the corner was just so much. I guess just you didn't need to think about the entry. You just went and the car turned, and that's something I had to get used to before I could start getting any pace up.
I think that's where, unlike, I'm not sure about Super Cup because you did a few races in the Super Cup, didn't you?
I think I did one or two. Yeah, Monaco I
Where
think was one of them.
I guess
Oh
the
yeah.
the driving
We don't have
style. I guess the driving style between qualifying and race in the likes of Formula Challenge and Super Cup probably comes nowhere near as close as it does to making the step up to Super League lights, and then obviously Super League. Obviously, with the tyres being so fragile already,
Yeah, that's something I was going to say.
yeah,
In Super
just
Cup, you really don't need to worry about the tires unless you are, a Jack in fucking.
fucking knew that was coming.
Jack in Brazil.
We all knew that was coming.
But yeah, you didn't really. You had to save a little bit. If you were pushing out all the way in Super Cup races, you were going to end up with dead tires. But when I made the jump to SLL, I was struggling. I was struggling a lot. I was losing my tires about 6, 7 laps before Jack did.
Oh,
Yeah, that was just the highest learning point in terms of the driving style. Uh, like in qualifying, you just throw the car in and you don't have to worry about anything. But but the races, you don't realize it until you see your tires and they are at 50% after 3 laps. So I think it took me 3 races until I got the hang of it.
Yeah,
I think Josh can comment on it.
yeah, that's probably about right. But yeah, in the later parts of the season, you could definitely see the improvement. Like I say, the cars, for me, the cars are very difficult to get used to, and I did pre-season because I was going to be racing. Obviously, I couldn't do the first part of the season. When I got back, already I'd kind of lost it, and then trying to get back into it, you need to put so much time into the Super League and Super League Lights cars because they seem very different to drive. They're very much you need to be confident to actually go quick, and
Yeah,
then
that's
in the
the current.
races you need to have the confidence to be able to not push as much to save the tires because they are very fragile, but you still need to go quick because you're up against some very quick people. And for me, that's where I just couldn't do that. I wasn't confident enough to be able to push the car, which meant that I then wasn't quick enough in the races. I could save the tyres, but I was, 2 seconds off the pace, and at that point, there's no point. So,
No,
and
as soon as you're off the tail of the cars ahead, you're
yeah, and
very
obviously,
difficult. Or have an incident, you're very difficult to get back involved with the points.
yeah, comparing
That
that
is what
to
I'm.
Super Cup last year, obviously the cars haven't changed massively between last year and this year. The Super Cup, I didn't massively like the car, but it's a car that was easy for you to be able to push and go quick when you needed to, and like say you didn't really need to care about the tyres. So that's the main differences, and otherwise just the massive difference in pace between them it's quite a big difference. Um,
Yeah, that's where I am currently with the last races. I was struggling with confidence on race runs. When I was told to push up, I just couldn't because the moment I started pushing, the tires were going. That's where I need to improve a lot in the next season if I do race in the top 2 categories. Uh, I think Jack is struggling with it as well. I'm not sure. I cannot comment on him.
it is all about confidence. Like if you have less confidence than anyone, you're definitely going to have less speed than them at that circuit. By the way, guys, I'm just about to go out on circuit and do some laps, so I'm not going to be talking for the next few minutes.
Time to
Have
go on
fun.
board with Jack and put him under pressure.
That's not.
A bit late. Sorry.
Anyway, you guys up to your thing. I'll be back in a few seconds. Well, hopefully not seconds actually.
Going for the S's.
So
Let's see
I'm
if
going
she
to run you
crashes.
through the order actually. 21 cars now on server. We've got Terence Gretsch at the top on 29.4, ahead of Ivan Leonov, Jason Muscat, Bernard Vella, George Whitehouse up in P5, ahead of David Krupa, Bastian Paisley, Menno Klont, Thomas Wack. I want to say Watch.
Thomas Vatch, something like that. I
Batch,
think.
yeah. Tom Packer, Darry Tapper, Jack Mayer in 12th ahead of his teammate leaving Sandeep Singh. Mia Ott in 14th had Hygo Poom, Paul Augustland, Mike Bell, David Yunt, Caitlin Penny, Chris Williamson, and Max Tad, who has joined in and looks fucking dreadful.
Can't go
To
on
say the
Maudlin then.
least.
I have a feeling that the top guys are getting help from the
Yeah,
main
he's
teams.
in the Rebel Street
Something
Fighter.
tells
That's
me
what he
that.
does.
Look at what's he doing.
I
Is
have a
Frederick Lage
question,
on here?
guys.
Oh!
I have a question, guys.
Wow.
Wow. Whoa, what happened? What this crash? Ooh.
That was a good looking
It's the
flip.
first cartwheel I think Max Tad's ever done.
Oh, this
First
guy have a
cartwheel off the
mental age
stream,
of
I'll say
5.
as well, so.
Yeah.
But I have a question. How David Yunt is behind Mike Bell if David Yunt make a better lap?
I
This
think
do not have sense.
yeah, I'm not quite sure actually. I assume Yunt's been on the hard tire or something like that.
I
don't
need to
know, or
improve
just
my
being
lap
careful.
Oh my.
But
Idiot.
David Yunt, class driver as well. Obviously very experienced. He's been around the scene a long time. And I'm not sure what his plans are for next year because obviously he didn't really have a full-time seat this year. He sort of did a few races for Calamity Motorsports in the second half of Formula Challenge this year. So I wonder if he's going to... Obviously, I can't see him being in Formula Challenge because he won the team's title 2 years ago, of course, with Red Arrow as well. So I've seen probably doing Super Cup. I know he's been messaging around a few people, seeing what their plans is for next year. Some people here, I think, are going to look good in the highest series next year. Some people here, stay away. Just stay away.
Hi.
I don't know where's Jack on track at the moment. Area P12. He's just in the third sector.
If you want if I want to put pressure on me, I'm going to try a qualifying lap.
Matt Tad caused a few issues to the cars behind.
That's
Oh,
fine.
I see.
Caused Menno
He's
to
just-
lock up. Oh, and then he bounces over that curb.
Oh,
It's just beautiful
Makes-
to watch.
Oh, 2 tenths in that final sector, just as David said my name.
Okay, what time do I need to beat in order to be ahead of my former
Oh.
teammate?
30.2.
30.2 MDR.
Well, I'd say
Personnel.
30.0 because I can definitely do 2 tenths faster.
I think
But
everyone's
you haven't
backing
so
off
far.
now behind Max.
Yeah, I was going to say, Max is the safety car for this.
It's Max
The-
and a
the
Red
very
Bull, but
unsafe
it's
car.
definitely not Verstappen. That's one thing for sure.
No, it's probably more similar to a few of the drivers they've had in that Red Bull this year, but I don't know if I should say the names or not, but...
No, go on.
Go on,
It's easy way
Josh.
to get banned.
Alright, go for
We've
it.
literally just had
Send it.
the camera guy destroy the league, but you know, go for it,
That's
mate.
true. It is a bit like Ben Hamlin, isn't it?
Wait, who's this in
I
front of me?
think the,
Yeah.
the Monaco of the Red Bull Street Fighter was just the best race I've ever seen.
Oh, especially when they took each other out as well.
That-
I mean,
that
that
was
that
just
was
a
choked.
highlight of the season,
Amazing
guys.
to see, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
took each other out as well in that race, and got banned subsequently as well for other crap they did that race as
Wasn't
well.
that
oh, and then he crashes right on
wasn't that
cue.
Stroll Blooming that got banned?
Oh yeah, you know, and
Straub,
that was,
Lubin and Ben Hamlet, same person, mate.
Same person.
It's
Same
Max Tad
person.
with the front wing. Oh,
yeah.
and that's
so is that Barrow survived that?
yeah.
As he
Now
goes
check, I
into
suppose.
charging into the wall. Yeah, look at that Whitehouse up in P5, getting the one over on the MDR Academy here so far with old George.
Yeah, but overall,
Stuff,
with
mate.
the amount of drivers we've got in here, I'd say we're you know,
My drivers.
Who wants to
don't
see
need
me get held up a treat through the S's, by the way?
My drivers don't need to stoop down to this level.
don't need to stoop down to this level. It's the Super League young driver test,
That's
mate. It's,
Yeah, It's like you know
the
when
best
the
thing they
Premier
can do.
League teams go abroad and do all these pre-season friendlies in like China and stuff like that. So it's basically that, right? They don't care. It's like Tottenham winning the Audi Cup. You know, they don't care. They just turn up and please a few people. You know, or try to at least anyway.
Oh god, we're talking about football.
Why not?
You know.
You know.
Who knows?
Anyone else wanting to join the bloody
Yeah,
stream?
come
or-
on, have a chat. Even if you're new.
I feel like I want an argument with someone, but at the same time, I don't want to be
You
Hago.
shouldn't have sacked me.
Hago's here.
That disclaimer just before Hago spoke, by the way. For sure. You know?
Well, I would have liked Jeff Fournier to join us because he was chatting earlier, but he says he's too shy.
In the meantime, let's talk about how Neptune is outperforming MDR.
No, we don't talk about
Um,
bad leagues.
in one very specific league, you are, yes, but in GPV, I wouldn't say so.
So I've got a topic here, going a little bit on what Alex was saying earlier.
In
What do you think-
GPVWC, Neptune have a win. MDR do not have this.
We got
Yeah,
a
but
podium.
we
How many
could
you
we
got?
could enter ITC and get a win
Hold
anyway,
up.
but it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
ITC is not the pinnacle of sim racing at all.
Anyway.
Next to
Carter fan, go for your question.
I'll say, what do you think is going to happen in 2020? Just good, bad, indifferent. What do you think is going to be the plan?
I have high hopes. I actually think it will be good. Racing wise, it will be just as good because racing wise, everything off stream, like the actual racing and the DC, has been good.
Yeah.
The only thing that's been bad this year, well, I think everyone can agree, is the consistency of the media around the
It's
around
the media
league.
and in some ways the management to do with that. Obviously, Will has spoken and tried to clear it up, but obviously he's been very busy this year, a lot more than what he expected. And hopefully, the fact that he's acknowledged that, I think for next year they should look to get more of a management structure, which means the rest of the league can actually function as well as it has done at points this year. Because
And to be honest though, it's all looked a lot worse. I think than it actually has been.
Yeah.
By the fact that it's the media which has struggled the most. Obviously, the media is it's what shows the league off to people not part of the racing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's what people go back to. Obviously, everyone has their own experiences, but the broadcast is what everyone can go back to and sees what it's like. So if you've got no broadcast, or you've got really low quality broadcasts, people are going to see 2019 as a low quality year, even though the things going on behind the cameras is actually really good still. So I think whilst obviously a racing league is all about the racing, I think there does need to be a massive kick up the arse on the broadcast side. Otherwise, it will okay over 1 year bad broadcast but good racing. It's not going to make much difference. But if it's 3 years on the trot, which we end up having bad broadcasts, if they let it stay this low, then it will start having influence. Because once you get the drivers and teams disappearing, do you know what I mean? So I think next year the racing side and the actual series themselves will be just as good, and I have high hopes for them. But there has to be, without a doubt, a change on the social media front with both broadcasts and actual social media posts, including the websites as well. But I think that goes without saying.
I'm gonna have to stop you there to go on board with Hygo as he just crashed.
Oh yeah, I'm
Not-
struggling with this car for some reason.
But I'm going to also have my contribution for the broadcast next year, but I'm not fucking turning up, so I won't be a part of it next year. Well, definitely not in Super League at least. Maybe do some Formula Challenge or Academy Series again, but I won't be in Super League next year. Which for some of you would be a bloody good change. So that would be definitely some differences next year. You're in Super League, but I think for me it's about obviously broadcast. Because it's like, for example, it's like walking to a shop with no staff. You know, you got the product there, but no one can explain it to you. No one can show it to you.
Exactly. I actually couldn't put it any better than myself. To be fair, that is a perfect analogy.
And there's that, and also, you know, it's like the social media as well. The actual like promotion, like the videos. Like I know George Whitehouse did videos earlier this year, but he didn't have to log in to upload the videos. So he was giving the videos out to whoever was in charge of the YouTube account, and they weren't getting uploaded. So he was wasting his effort and time, and they weren't showing off the league. So what they need to do, is my honest opinion, whoever they give these roles to, give them the logins. You got to trust them to actually. It's like, for example, I said we was having a discussion a while back, wasn't we? We said that you'd offer to do the social media on like Instagram and Twitter and all that sort of stuff. It'll give you the accounts to actually, or give you the opportunity to actually upload it, all the time. If you got asked, can you log me into do this and do that? It's just extra time and extra frustration. So they got.
I would like to confirm
all the access.
They did used to give access to video creators, the GPVWC. Can confirm that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
been very cryptic.
Pissed over my bonfire. But no, it's they need to have a good old shake up, I think, because otherwise, in the end of the day, people, the teams, the drivers, are just going to piss off and go to come to WCS, for example, to try to have there and race the series that WCS are going to be racing in next year as well, which I have heard very exciting plans there as well. But no, the thing is, a lot of us love GPV. A lot of us, we invest a lot of time, a lot of effort, drivers, teams, staff. We love the league. We just want to see it at its fullest potential. If that potential is not being seen or not being exploited to its full, then it's going to suffer, and then people are going to have their eyes elsewhere, because there's other leagues out there in the more professional sense, which is probably what the ambition of GPVWC is. People are going to go there, try something new out, experience this, new mods, new sims, new leagues, new communities, and try out there. See because you got to see what's best. It's like you go shopping, you see a product for £1, and you see the same item for 90p. You're gonna go to get the one for 90p, aren't you? Ain't gonna, you're not gonna. You've got to do what's best for you, what's best value. What's best for your product, what's best value for your team. And that's where you see a lot of these professional esports teams. They ain't going to come here at the moment, half the time, like the Williams Esports and all the big teams. They go where the money is. They go where the viewerships is, and that's the key. So you've got to invest the time, invest the man hours that's needed to make the lead as best as possible.
I think on that, it's good what Jeff Fournier put in the chat, is that the management don't trust the voluntary members, the people actually helping out. When at the end of the day, the GPV is great because it's such a, I guess there's been arguments, but it's a good community. There are a lot of people here that are wanting to help the league and wanting to put the league forward and make it a bigger thing than it is. But the management don't seem to trust that and don't seem to want them. They want them to do it, but they don't want to give them the tools that they actually need to do it. And I think if they can do that, then as a community, as volunteers, I guess at the moment, we should be able to do that. But yeah, at the moment, with broadcasts not necessarily always happening because the members doing it don't have the tools or the broadcast machine or anything like that to do it, it is not going to help the league at all. And I think that should be one thing that the management say at GPV Day. I think they should hopefully point out that and give their ideas for what they're going to do to improve it.
So if anyone is going to GPVWC Day and does have a mouth, use it.
Yeah,
use it, abuse it. Because I was saying, if you, it might seem like we're having a go, but us three, we all love the league. We all want what's best, and like the people watching at home as well. 4. Yeah, sorry, Hug. I forgot you was here.
5 then, if you can.
5 for Rodrigo, and then
6 then.
Obviously, Hygo takes the 3 seats, so that's 7. So,
David, you eat more than me, and you know that.
Guys, 20 seconds left for the session, by the way. I'm about to just start my fastest lap, my final lap.
So 20 seconds before we go into these fun races. 20.
But this setup I've just received like a minute ago.
Who from?
Paisler.
Oh,
hello. Passion Page.
Oh, bollocks!
Oh, you popped it up immediately.
There we go. Spinning around onto the grass, and that is the session over pretty much. The checker flag is now out. But now we're going to have some, for those who've been very patiently waiting in chat, 13 of you at this present moment. Now we're going to have some fun races in store, 3-lap races. Just let off a bit of steam. And we normally say predict who's going to win this race. I ain't got a fucking clue because it could be anyone. It's going to be carnage.
I'm not sure whether to go on. I'm not sure whether to go on my actual setup or the setup that I received 2 minutes ago, which I still haven't.
Spun it turn 1 with it.
It took me 3 hours to get a drivable setup, so I'm not giving this one up.
I didn't want your setup.
Oh, Jack, it was your setup at the beginning.
Oh shit, I want it. Oh. What do you mean you've only just made it drivable?
We've got Terran.
For some reason the Hawkeye wasn't, stable, so I had to make it stable.
I think that's the car. To be fair, the car is a lot more rear end happy.
No, it's just I don't know.
No, it's definitely
doing a lot of donuts.
Where?
Where? Turn 1 exit. He's in the gravel, but I guess, as this is meant to be a Young Drivers test stream, I know we haven't really covered it much, but we should probably run through it, shouldn't we?
Yeah, so Terence Scratch getting the, well, actually, has he? Because Ivan Leonov's just going around the final corner now, and then Bajurek, of course, doesn't beat the time, and almost whacks into the Mad Cape there as well. But yeah, Gretsch takes, does he win it? He tops the session. He tops the session.
Yeah, that's probably
ahead of Ivan Leonov from Jason Muscat, obviously Super Cup champion 2019, ahead of Bernard Vella, Ashton Paisley, George Whitehouse, David Krupa, Jack Mayer in P8, ahead of Dowie Tapper, and Menno qualifying at top 10.
And ahead of E15.
August Land just got disqualified.
Or just left.
Just left. Thomas Falk, Tom Parker, Mia Ott, Sandeep Singh, 14th, Holger David Young, Mike Bell, Caitlin Penny, Chris Williamson.
A lot of people have left also.
Yeah,
they don't know what's going on. It's going to be a race. 19-car race, it looks like at the moment. It's going to be.
Still more turnout than Super Cup. Some races.
Still more turnout than WCS League race room. But what do I know?
MDR could set up a race and get more attendance than WCS League, but
we set up a stream and got more attendance than WCS.
Just all your drivers need to show up, and then you got it. 20 drivers, bang.
True. We'll get Mission Drive in there. It'll be great.
Menno asks, what happens now? Menno, you've been here for the whole of time.
Menno's been
you
here
should know by now. Yeah, but there should be a race now going on, hopefully.
Just as well as this is technically a test session and it's all about laps, Bernard Vella has done the most laps at 81. I can't see how
I lost a lot of laps because I had to leave in the middle of it. So.
Yeah, well, you've got some good excuses, but oh well.
Oh, it's qualifying. Please, no, we just had like 2-hour practice. So you're watching, so you're part of the test.
Krupa News' SRT checking out, nice.
Well, you know what's going to happen. We're going to move over to the race session, and Krupa's going to be like, "Oh, can we restart the race?" As that's his typical thing. Mike Bell, I've got no cookies now. I've got them here, mate. So I have to come over and get them. Just the crumbs at the end. But yeah, hopefully for these guys now, it's going to be quite a bit of fun. We're trying to for the action as much as possible, but I expect it to just be a mess, a real mess.
Yeah.
So when you see Formula Challenge races, it's going to be a lot faster.
Mike Bell has just spun out of the pit lane, so that
he made it 5 meters.
He didn't even exit the traction zone of the pit exit.
And he just spun up the first corner as well.
Oh god, I'm fighting with Caitlin Bennett. That's not going to end well.
Just send it.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I've seen Penny's looked a little bit
ropey in these cars. Really.
Yeah.
I don't want touch anyway. Okay. Well, what's 2.5 times 3?
7.5 donkey.
21.
Oh.
Yeah, 21.
No formation.
Start on hard tires, yes, Jason.
Yeah.
I don't even know what type. What.
Actually, if it's Brazil, then yeah, Jack should probably start on hards to make them last.
Mike Bell, yeah.
Mike Bell is already racing.
Donuts and Mia Ott decides that it's best.
I'm
to just
in
drive
danger.
into
This is going to be a very interesting race.
the
The fact that I just come
18
onto the circuit to see a
race.
front wing in front of me.
Yeah.
Clon's
I
had enough.
practicing his starts.
And it was reverse gear.
Oh,
Make
I
sure
have
that
never
works.
launched a Super League car off the grid, so
I mean, you've
Same with
launched a
Superleague
Superleague
lights,
lights, mate.
just-
Yeah.
Floor it. and
yeah,
then
but
send
they
it.
are different.
Right, here we go.
Here we go. Terrence Gretsch up front. Is there going to be a formation lap? No, there is
Nope.
not. It's going to be a
Straight.
5-lap race. Chris Williamson in the pits. And away they go. And is it going to be a Mazurek leading turn one or the Red Arch? It's going to be the Red Arch
Oh,
of Terrence Gretsch. And dive down the inside. Oh, here we go. 4 wide.
Jack, don't
Going
cover
into
it like
the-
Super Cup.
And there we go. There's
No,
a bit
it's
of
actually
contact there at the back of the
relatively
field. Oh, it's not too bad actually.
was
That's
me.
pretty damn good. Oh, there's
Oh,
wow,
that was a
Bernard
big
Vella. And
crash.
wow, that's an enormous accident. There's a wheel gone. For look
There's
at
the,
that
the
smoke.
engine is. Oh, there's a.
Jason Muscat.
Oh, an evolution just got sent by
Is that
another
Mikey Bell?
evolution. Mike Bell killed Tom Parker
Tom
there.
Parker.
That was
I prefer the
Tom
old
Parker was
evolution.
on wets, by the way, as well. This is absolutely fantastic. But Terence Gretsch leads. Leonov in second place. George Whitehouse is up to third. What a great start from him. Jack Mayer has sent it wide. And I've got Bastian Paisler, his teammate for this evening. Oh, a spinner at the back of the
Menno.
field. That is Menno Klont. You know, showing his experience there. We're just spinning it off completely off the track. But Bastian Paisler making a move on Jack Mayer there. 3 wide behind. It's Poom, Varch, and Mia Ott. Oh, and they're spinning around Ott. Oh, there we go. The
That's
just right
Krupa
into
gone.
the wall there. Absolutely donkered it into the wall. Well, Krupa, what do you expect? Into the wall without a front wing. Just doing donuts now on the track. Mike Bell. Yeah, Krupa retires the car. So that's 2 evolutions out already. But end of the first lap. Gretsch there showing his class and in front. From Leonov from Whitehouse. From Paisler from Mayer. From Poom there. They are the former teammates. Going to be battling out with Bastian
Oh wait, that's
Paisler.
Jack? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that
was
is-
going to send it.
and
a
wow,
turn.
Menno Klont. Have you just seen what Menno Klont's car position is? P14. That's unbelievable.
Oh wow, that's
Wow, that is incredible. Menno Klont.
How did he
what
do that?
What a legend. That is absolutely fantastic. And he's just smoking, but he's got his wheel in the barrier and the wheel on the top of the barrier.
How did he manage
On the
that?
other
Oh,
side.
that was after the collision with me at Ott. So,
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. Mirot's in the pits. Klont's
Very
smoking
I want to go
away.
back to my setup. Not gonna lie, Paisler's
can't.
is shit.
Jack.
Menno's stuck in the barrier. He can't get out. He can't get out. He's just going to be
So if anybody wants to see why they should have get me, look at our battle right now.
Yeah,
I'd
I'll
like if I
battle
go to lock
P5.
up and
Ooh. Well, yeah, good advert, guys.
Max
Good
Verstappen
advert.
right here, boys.
A perfect Formula challenge, I think, because Mayer defends the line.
There we go, and that's why he's the team owner.
So, and Sandy Singh behind us just got past Thomas Bart as well.
Oh, Caitlin Penny
You had-
spins.
Penny,
Young
yeah.
through. Mike Bell's still going, just like in Super League Lights this year. He's just gonna try and get something just by finishing.
Mirot
being
is just
about.
cutting the whole track. I mean,
Jack, you did not see that.
I did, don't worry. But I was having my own issues at the time.
but here's the last lap. Starting the last lap. Now, Terence Gretsch, Leonov from White. It's going to be a 3-car battle here for the victory. So
If someone would like
Gretsch
to
is
remind me, if someone would like to remind me to go on my setup next race, please.
God, you
Oh,
said that
Whitehouse
actually.
spins it.
spins, just like Singapore. Was that
Yeah,
Whitehouse
but
or was
no-
that?
It
That was
Whitehouse
Whitehouse.
at the final
That was
corner
Whitehouse, wasn't it? Yeah.
in Singapore as well when he hit the curb on the inside and
That
threw it off
was
the
rather
circuit.
interesting, and then didn't think to reverse over the line.
No,
It
that was quite
interesting.
quite funny, I must
finish.
say. That's it. It's going to be a 2-horse race now. Gretsch and Leonov front 2. And is Leonov going to attack? He does like to crash around a bit, does Ivan Leonov, if you've watched the Super League
Good old
races he's done in the past.
Iron Lenovo. So.
Yeah. I5 Lenovo.
He's going to try it around the outside here at the hairpin.
Oh, Gretsch is not going to say yes
Oh,
to
is he
that.
gonna
Oh,
do
yeah,
it?
he's got
Oh,
it.
that was a nice
He's done it.
move.
Fantastic move. Great move there from him. We've got Caitlin Penny in the
Still
pit.
side by side.
Why? Just
Oren
pitting
Gretsch
it.
is
Oh
now
my
going to
goodness.
send it here. Yes, he's got it back. He's defended that very well.
Is there an opportunity for those two to take each other out for me?
Probably. Although they look like they've sorted it now.
Here comes Scratch.
It's either gonna
And,
he's gonna track extend like IndyCar around the second
yeah,
last corner.
DC's going to look at that, that's for sure. And Terence
That's a
Scratch wins the
bog for the
first
next
of
race.
these fun races here this evening. And you know they're going to bin it over the line. Oh, no, they're being quite sensible. Paisler, P3, there we go, spinning across the ball. Jack Mayer failing to crash into him.
I go
Here comes
boom.
I go away.
Absolutely kills him.
That's what he thinks. In the front wing, just
Oh,
flying
yeah.
off in the background.
For those who are not aware, Jack is in
Oh.
VR.
Oh yeah, he has got a VR headset on, so
Yud
even
and
more
Pooh
scary.
Manchester. There we are. Mike Bell finishes 9th, which is the highest finish I think he's had all year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that would be more points than he's had all season. So
George Whitehouse is going to cross the line. Mike is not going to thank me for saying that. I don't give a shit. Mia Ott has got a drive-through penalty. Again, it's one of those people I just see driving. It's just like, why? Why are you here? You know, dodgy,
it
really.
seems to be a lot.
Penny-
Oh, I go slipping around a lot.
Someone
Can
said
I,
Mike
is
Bell's
there another
reversed.
one?
I hope so.
I hope so. I've got unfinished business, mate.
Like I say that about a few people recently.
Quite a few cars reversing around the track now.
Yeah, well, Mikey
Including
Bell
Hygo
is one of them.
pushing David.
Hello.
It's interesting.
Oh, Miro is on the same. Well, doing what No Clump did, just on top of a wall.
Come on, he
Caitlin's
sucks at
just lost,
Oh, go on, Yun.
all the
Go on,
wins.
Yun. He's winning. He's winning. He's winning the reverse right, and there he goes into the
Ooh.
wall. And
Mike
Hygo.
Bell's it.
Hey, let's start
Another
this.
18-car race now for you guys. Look how quick that is. Superb.
Reverse grid? No.
Even though, again, yeah. Why
No.
not?
No.
Someone's
Can you
gonna
not already
stop.
hear the damage?
Look at
There's some.
this.
Who is that? Is that?
Caitlin Penny is in someone. That's
Mike Bell's already lost a wheel.
standard.
Oh no, there
I
it
just
is.
see George Whitehouse. Oh my goodness me.
There's
Oh, Tom Parker's rolled the car on the grid. Here comes Mike
Oh,
Bell.
yeah, they are
way.
just- The only one's actually doing something.
Oh, Mirot's been disqualified already.
Oh shit.
So's Jack.
So,
So guys, I'll be joining you in the commentary booth for this race.
Oh, dearie me. What an absolute tosser. Here they go once again. The people who have managed to make it on the grid without being absolute prats of on the grid. Is Terence Scratch can make it 2 out of 2? We'll find out now as over the line.
Oh,
my
that's a jump
God.
start by someone. Mike leading the race for the first time.
Terence
in,
lunging down the inside. Oh, here we go. That is a mess.
That
Look
is,
at that. That's screenshot material.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
What the fuck?
Of all this, Mike Bell
Jesus
is
Christ.
Josh, we could use this
Oh,
for MDR Academy
Taunts
adverts.
out. Taunts off
Yeah.
the track. Bella's got
of course,
no
it was
front wing.
Tom Parker who took me out.
I go 15th with no front wing. Tom Parker's reversing around the track. Mike Bell leads with a drive-through penalty, of course. Go on, Terence is looking down the inside once.
Terence has got the switchback every night.
Thomas
I'm
Wack.
making it. I'm making it.
Oh my god.
Mike Bell's still trying to win this race.
Wing corners are too mainstream.
Miot's in third. Somehow I thought she was disqualified, but we're not too sure.
Oh no,
Still up
I
there.
have few flat spots.
A few.
that.
I have a few flat
Lap
spots.
Lucas
2 and
is
is already on
smoking.
50 pence pieces.
Krupa's
Goes for
smoking
the
around the
overtake on
track.
Jason. He locks up, but he gets it done.
He gets
He
it done, and he
manages to
could be
do
on
it.
the inside for the next corner. They're going to go through side by side. One's got more downforce. That just wasn't really close. Now is Hago going to send it? No, he's not. He can't even turn it. Hashtag turn it.
He's sent into the wall, maybe.
We've got George on Ivan. Oh, George was.
Oh, yikes. The
He's binned it.
He
Red
has
flag?
binned
Sent it and binned it.
Absolutely, yeah. They're almost 3
Ooh.
wide up into turn 1 though for the lead. Mike has managed to get past Terence again.
Mikey Bell still up front. Yeah. Send it, bend it, mend it in this race. That's what you got to do.
Well, I didn't do
Most of the
either.
time it's just send it, yeah.
Bop it.
There's a good song with
Oh
that
my-
name, actually. But
Yeah.
plug.
Oh my.
Mia
Available on
Oxnell got
all
rubbish.
major music platforms, including SoundCloud, Spotify, and iTunes.
Oh, look at this.
And you-
Almost 3 wide on the exit there.
Yeah.
Fan, actually,
This is
3
letting the
behind.
fr-
Catch
yeah.
up. Sandy
Oh
Sink
my
into
God.
Brazil.
I think they are about to go 3 wide.
Yes.
They are. I think Ott's going to make it 3 wide. Yes, he goes to the inside to make it 3 wide. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. Ott's on the inside. Bell on the outside. There's
That's
a
a bit-
slight twitch under brake, and somehow Bell still gets on top. And now we have player 4 entering the battle with Peisler. And just in P4, as we see, is that Gretchen and Ott went side by side. And then Ott looking to the inside. Bell defending that. That blocked Ott off, allowing Gretchen. And
Oh,
Ott's
Ott
gone.
loses the race.
Ott is gone. Ott
Now
has
Bastion will take
gone.
his place.
Kaiser
Mad
into
Otter's gone.
P3, all over the back of
Mad
Gretchen
Otter has
and
gone, yeah.
Bell. Bell leading,
happened a while
defending like
ago,
his
though.
life depends on it. That was a hell of a start from Bell, can I just say? Also,
There's
that's
Tom Parker at the final corner. Oh, he's taking the bike. That was Tom Parker.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Mike
That
Bell
was
has just
beautiful.
been taken out by his teammate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Mia
Oh,
goes to the
that's
dive.
fantastic.
Oh, and gets that a bit wrong.
I heard damage.
Sandeep is getting very much.
Oh, there's
Brazil
Mikey Bell
vibes
without a
here.
front wheel at the start-finish line.
That
I'll go
was
Poom with us drive-through penalty.
Yeah, Hygo Poom's still going along.
Yep.
Caitlin as well. Thomas and David as well. It's been a rather
Oh, we got
messy
a
race, hasn't it?
5-car battle for the lead.
I wouldn't call this a battle for the lead. I'd call it a battle for second.
I wouldn't call it a battle, I'd call it an
Oh, he sends it!
effort.
And Gretsch gets an overtake, done
Oh, and
slight
they're
contact.
inside- Oh,
and
Sandeep
Sandeep-
moves it on his own.
Sandeep thought the corner went on longer than it did, but you know, that's Sandeep
Goes
things.
he's
10
going
ducks and Sandeep
around,
to drive.
around like a poppadom.
Ott goes to the inside, really late move, and gets the move back on Gretsch under braking at the seams. Perfect,
I'm
hits the
going to
apex.
overtake Bell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bell's got 3 wheels, you pillock.
I don't even have a front end.
I mean, yeah, but you got 4 wheels.
Fair enough.
Going into the final few corners now, and Greg is all over the back of Mia Ott.
Rodrigo Carvalho says Academy Grid in a nutshell. Absolutely spot on. It's probably better, actually.
Ooh.
Paisley's going to come across the line and win the second race here for Edgy Sports Mia Ott in second. Gretsch in P3. David Yunt in P4. Sandeep Singh is going to recover and get P5.
Jason
Nice job,
Mustard.
nice job, Curry boy.
Yeah,
From P7 onwards, everyone's missing at least something.
Jason is
Rain
pushing Sandeep
sound.
along the straight now. Nice.
I
Hygo with
would
no
say
front
the
wing
things
is going
I'm
to
not
come
going
through
to.
P7.
Oh, Mikey Bell's battling Tom Parker again. Oh,
That's not gone well, has it?
Mikey Bell's stuck in the gravel. Oh no, he's got out. There we
There
go.
we go, Tom will give him a little shove.
Oh, and Jason Muscat is on top of a barrier.
Dennis must be hating that, what's going on with his car at the moment. There we go, Thomas has now got P9. Thomas overtakes Mike Bell on the final lap to get P8. Oh, Mike gets killed again by Tom.
Okay, Pungo's flying into war.
Yeah, that's
Oh
interesting.
no, there was Mia as well, but I don't know where he or she went.
Yeah.
Disappeared. Oh no, it's here. It's here. The car's back.
Just cars just smoking everywhere as Caitlin Penny reverses across the line, 7th position. Mike Bell still battling. Thou shall not pass. Go on, Chris, just end it.
No, send it.
Proper one, guys.
Yeah,
Come
Terrence
on.
wants a proper race.
Terrence is just getting ready for karting in Malton. That's fact.
Yeah, you should be getting his practicing.
74 laps, let's go. Oh, and Caitlin Penny's on fire. Next week, 5 Super League teams declared bankrupt. I nearly won. Oh, here we go.
that
And he
warm,
doesn't
huh?
make it.
So where will I be starting on the grid?
So 16
Oh,
cars.
this
It's going to
is-
be the final fun race of the evening. And I just hope for you guys at home before the race finishes. I just hope you've all had a brilliant season. You know, I know it's been a frustrating for some of you guys, and it's not been the season you may have expected, but it's been good entertainment. Particularly with these people alongside me, you know, they've provided a lot of entertainment on the platform here.
Sure.
Bastards.
Yeah,
We're all happy at MDR.
All friends here.
all
Suck a donkey.
all great employees to work for, so they say.
You get paid in t-shirts.
I think you're trying to. I said, what T-shirts are those? Well, here comes another plug.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
www.gamersapparel.co.uk/store/MDR. Use code MDR5 for 5% discount.
Yeah, there we go. Couldn't have said it better myself. That is true. They're actually very good. I'm actually wearing the hoodie right now, to be fair. And even if I was non-biased, I'd say it's actually a pretty good hoodie. It's
Plan to
comfy,
use the
it's
hoodie
warm.
just to raid a bank so you can then buy more MDR merch. Is that the plan?
Well, we don't actually
Oh.
do any MDR branded balaclavas, unfortunately.
Can't just
So I don't
spawn
think we
on
can
the
do that.
grid. So Jason Muscat has a front wing under his car for the start. And away they go, and
Oh,
he's now
yep.
pushing the front wing along.
That's worked out well. Oh, who's that?
Oh,
Who's
big
crashed?
wreck. Big wreck at the back.
Jack, was that you? Yes, it was. You're now crabbing quite a bit.
Couldn't say it better myself. Gretsch leads again from Paisley, from Muscat, from Menno Clont in fourth. Great stuff from him. And yeah, Bernard Vella in fifth place there as well. Krupa in sixth.
Almost
In the
gives it a
evolution
little bump there, yeah.
Yeah, it's typical style.
I'll go and
He's Polish, so he's got to do that. Otherwise, you get deported if you don't do that. Oh, look at that. That's a
Hygo
fend
almost
from
kills
Boot.
him, yeah. Nice.
Vella moving down the inside.
Caitlin Penny
Of
making a
Menno
move
Clont.
on Mike Bell.
Oh, yeah, and Yunt's not afraid to get involved in this. Fantastic. Go on, brake, Mike. You can't stop the car. Perfect, though. 250 kilos added to Mike
Oh,
Bell's
that's
car.
been a bit...
I'm having an absolute ding dong with whack at the back here, even if the car isn't standing straight.
Oh, Creeper just killed Mia. And, oh, that's the... Mike Bell's dead again.
I'm going to beat
Maybe
Mike
brakes
Bell with a
failed.
dead car.
David Creeper's just spun out and... That's not gone well
In the
either.
gravel. What's happened to Evolution this race? isn't
And
it?
Menno's
What's
just
happened to
absolutely
Evolution?
murdered him.
Menno Clont. Absolutely harpooning the pole. I think that's getting his own back for some of the incidents they had this year, maybe.
Yeah, kid.
Guys like my car.
Let's see where Jack is. It's
Wax in the pit.
interesting
Bell
steering wheel
is...
angle.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Is that Creeper and Menno
Wiggle,
making
wiggle,
babies,
wiggle,
maybe?
wiggle, 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 wiggle. Maybe, I don't know. Donuts, Tim and Clont dance waltzing together.
There is kind of a free car battle for the lead between Terence, Bastian and Jason.
Bernard Vellum, Hygo Puma up in fifth. What was going on? What is going on?
Best race he's had all season.
I know. Well, actually.
No, actually, Canada, I beat Jack.
Yeah.
And Brazil.
Oh, that's true.
Penny and Yunt having a battle together, a P7. I think everyone else is fairly clean. Oh dear, what is Thomas Scratch going to experience around this next corner? No, it's clear.
Clear.
Oh, we're all running on the anti-cut on the exit. No, managing okay. Menno Clont is... Look at Menno. P11 at the moment with Krupa behind. Still got the same problem. We're just wiggling around the track. Oh, Krupa's trying to get past. No, parking it.
It's an
Oh, they're going to
absolute
hold up the
ding-dong battle
leader.
here for P11.
They're going to hold up the leaders, aren't they? Look at this.
Krupa's
Oh, Krupa. So I was going to hit him. No, they just get away with it. Crikey. Oh wow, Mirot and Krupa. Oh wow,
That's
that
not
is
gone well.
a serious accident. Going to rejoin the circuit.
Oh, Menno almost
That's-
kills them now.
And Krupa's like, yep, I'll join you.
What the fuck has happened up here? Oh my god. I'm
been
gonna
a bit
take
memey.
P7, guys.
What
no,
do you
that's
call Tiger Poom? Is he going
Yeah.
to send it on Bernard? Down into the hairpin?
Bernard's what?
He is. Or Bernard Vella. Oh, no. He's a
Oh,
Malteser.
he just closed the door. What the fuck?
Didn't quite get the move done there, and
Nope.
he spins.
Oh,
It's
Tiger
bar
Poom's
all
done.
over
What
again.
What the fuck? and Penny's in the wall. There she goes.
Alright.
Into the barrier.
Am I actually gonna finish P7?
No, Caitlin was quite far in front.
Oh, yes, the final lap, of course.
It is.
As Terence Scratch wins
Terence
again.
wins, Bastion P2, Jason P3,
Muscat.
got
Yeah,
Vela P4 because Hygo failed to overtake and then bottled it.
and Malta does well once again. And look at that, Benny and Muscat and Gretsch over the line. Here comes Bernard Vella. There we go. Into
And
the barrier.
Hygo's here,
Fantastic.
let's see what he does. Ooh!
Oh, that's
just
a
clips
9.5 with Pike. Oh, look at that. Over the
very
wall
nice.
as well. Managed to do
Over jump him as
gymnastics.
well.
Gymnastics and the high
Oh,
jump. at
that's
the
a
same
head
time.
on. That's a head on crash. That's. It's
Okay,
a car
Penny
park up
finishes
at
seventh.
gravel.
Jack May's going to finish in 8th position here. Not
See
the
what-
podium
I'm
that
happy
he
with
wanted.
Jack is wiggling down that straight.
Wiggle,
wanna see
wiggle,
it send
wiggle,
it?
wiggle.
Hashtag send it, mate.
Oh.
Oh, he rolled before.
He sent over the fence.
Oh,
Oh,
there
wow.
we go.
Cartwheeling to Canada. I think that's the way to
There's a piece
round
of
off the
suspension
season
there,
right
and that's
there.
broken the game.
Is that wait, where the fuck the circuit gone? Oh my god!
Don't know,
You are-
where are you?
Go third person and look behind me.
Jack has gone into the void, kind of, I guess. You just see that little tower behind him and turn one
He
flag.
jumped over the wall and got to Mexico, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think, on that note, I think that's a great place.
Well, on that note, definitely. I got a 255 kilo penalty. It's probably well deserved. But yeah, I'd say on that note, it's been very fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've had good talks, good conversations, and a good laugh as well with the in here this evening. And I hope that's a good roundup of the season in GPVWC. As I see many people trying to PM me now, probably about an hour and a half ago, but okay, you can. Yeah, unless you guys have got anything else to add.
I think it's pretty much worth saying thanks to everyone who's been part of MDR this year. I don't know about you, Josh, but I think
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to add.
oh,
I like
fuck
to add
Pago.
MDR.
Pago, everyone apart from you, fuck off. Everyone,
Get a job.
everyone who's been part of MDR this year, including like Hago.
The MDR can go itself.
Let's not keep by the rules, because no
what?
limits.
Sod it.
Red button broadcast.
Yeah.
Everyone could go fuck themselves. 2021 is just me and Josh. We don't even need anyone. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Right, Sing B,
Oh, it's the curator.
Ooh.
Curry Brown.
What up, you white cunts?
That's a good time
Well,
to end
we're just about to end the broadcast, but on that note,
Oh, we're on the broadcast?
I
Oh,
think that sums up this season in NDR perfectly.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to go now, but
It's been fun.
wait,
yeah,
are you
it's been
streaming?
yeah.
yeah, we
Didn't
streamed the
even
whole
know.
thing.
Oh, you could have joined earlier, man.
Oh, you fuckers.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
man.
as
Bloody
Jack was trying to say, it's been a good year. Thank you to everyone who's helped out at
I think
MDR.
from all these MDR failures and the unfortunate runner-up here and myself, the champion, I'll see you later. Bye
Yeah.
for now.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
guys.
This is fun.